I'm Cammie McCormick. Action star Chuck Norris has died. His family described it as a sudden passing. He was 86. Stacey Lynn has a look back at his career.
Chuck Norris was a 6-time world karate champion before launching his Hollywood career. He rose to fame in the 1970s and 80s, starring in numerous films, including Bruce Lee's The Way of the Dragon.
Wrong answer.
Missing in Action.
Sleep tight, sucker.
And The Delta Force.
In the eyes of a ranger.
But Norris is most known for starring in the hit TV show Walker, Texas Ranger. He played Cordell Walker for 9 seasons. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Iran continues to retaliate with strikes on Israel and in the Gulf. CBS's Ramy Inocencio has the latest.
Our CBS News team in Israel tells us that there were at least 8 barrages of missiles from Iran, most of which were aimed at northern Israel. Haifa was one city mentioned, but no significant damage reported. Iran this morning also launching missiles on its Gulf neighbors, drones as well, Dubai, Kuwait, Saudi, and Bahrain.
The war with Iran continues to drive up oil prices, and Americans are feeling the pinch at the gas pump. These drivers in Texas.
This just doesn't make sense. Like, how do we almost at $4?
It's kind of hard getting back and forth from work, with the gas prices, to be honest with you.
It's not like they increased the gas and gave us a raise at work, you know what I mean? We still working off the same money we got last week.
Correspondent Michael Wallace reports the Trump administration is suing Harvard University, claiming it failed to protect Jewish students after the October 7th attack on Israel.
In its lawsuit, the Justice Department asks a federal court in Massachusetts to find that Harvard failed to address anti-Semitism on campus, which created grounds for the government to freeze billions of dollars in grants for the school. The suit cites Harvard's deliberate indifference to discriminatory harassment of Jewish and Israeli students after the October 7th attacks. Harvard has been holding talks with the administration in hopes of regaining access to federal funding.
Skylar Henry reports TSA agents are still going without pay because of the partial government shutdown, and that's causing long security lines at airports.
In Houston, Texas, specifically Hobby, where there are images of passengers and travelers waiting in security lines that stretch out to parking lots. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said on Thursday that this is a situation that could possibly get worse, especially if TSA officers aren't paid. They are scheduled to miss their next full paycheck next Friday.
On Wall Street today, stocks are lower again. The Dow Jones Industrial's off 200 points, the Nasdaq off by 235. This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Gas prices just keep going up. We will talk about that in just a moment. But first, we've got your KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And it's not quite Friday light, but it's not a crisis either. We've still got some traffic going in and out of downtown Seattle. Your slowing starts from about the north end of Boeing Field getting into downtown Seattle. And, of course, we've got a little bit of pressure on the West Seattle Bridge, but 509 and 99 are still doing fine in the north end. The backup starts from just past 145th getting into downtown Seattle, but your lake bridges are clear. And 405, just a tiny bit of slowing through the S-curves. That is pretty much it for you. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Jillian Raftery. One person has been injured after a shooting involving an Everett police officer. Here's what we know so far. Officers were called to the 8700 block of 7th Avenue Southeast around 3 a.m. We do not know what that call was or what led to the shots fired. We do know the person who was injured is not a police officer. We are told there was no outstanding threat. Through the morning, investigators had the scene roped off as they pieced together what happened. 2 schools on that block shut down for the day. A deadly turn to an assault investigation from back in January. A man believed to be in a mental health crisis stabbed several roommates at a clean and sober house in Tacoma. One of those victims has now died. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reported from the scene when the news broke.
One of the people living here says he was woken up by a housemate who was covered in blood, saying the house was on fire. That's starting a terrifying morning.
The suspect is in custody. Gas prices are up, but just by a little over 1 cent on average in Washington. Gas Buddy shows a 39-cent increase in just a week, putting the average at $5.17. That's 95 cents in just the last month. The national average is $3.93 now. Prices usually go up in the spring as a different mix is incorporated by producers and demand goes up, driven by warmer weather. But as we've routinely seen 2, 4, and even 8-cent increases overnight, driven by the Iran war. Washington's prices are also routinely among the highest because of taxes and the Climate Commitment Act. A casualty of all this rain, a landslide blocking I-5 northbound near Bellingham. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun has the latest and says there's no ETA on reopening.
This is just south of Bellingham at Lake Samish Road. Trees and boulders are covering the highway in 2 spots. You can see the mess there. WashDOT says engineers are out assessing the situation this morning. There's still no estimate on when this highway will reopen.
Now we're going to get your weather forecast. We will have some rain today with periods of clouds, a few showers tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, mostly dry. It's 54 degrees in downtown Seattle right now. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Oh! Come on, Nick! Rip it, all right, baby. Happy Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. It's Flex Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show, and It's official like a whistle. It is the first day of spring. Good morning. And Ursula,
we need all of that good news because I don't know whether to laugh or cry today.
I agree.
I've been doing a little bit of crying.
I agree. We're gonna make it through the show, and we're gonna have some fun today. But there's some rough news out here.
Yeah, there is. And I want to just say, we're gonna all need your input because coming up at 11 o'clock, we're going to do something special. We're going to do something fun because it is Flex Fridays and Fresh Fridays as well. We want to know what song you listen to right now, first of all, to deal with everything that's going on in the world. What is the song that brings you peace? So that's one.
This is easy. My current song,
Yeah.
I Can't Stop This Gal. I listen to her all day, every day.
Okay, I love that. And then the other one is, what is quintessential Seattle area music for you? Or what song just speaks to you and like, okay, this is Seattle. This is the Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
Who is that? So text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Coming up in the 11 o'clock hour, we'll have that conversation and also share some of your picks, and we'll share our picks.
All right, let's get the top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
The breaking news this morning is a gut punch for all of us in the radio industry and all of you who've grown up listening to KIRO News Radio and CBS News. CBS News Radio, a service that has been around for nearly a century, announced today that it is going to shut down on May 22nd. Now, this is the network that brought us everything from Edward R. Murrow's War Reports, Walter Cronkite broadcasts, the Daily World News Roundup, Charles Osgood. Again, it is going dark May 22nd. I want to be very clear, though, we're not going anywhere. It's just us and about 700 other affiliate stations are going to lose CBS News Radio. And with that announcement, of course, every single job tied to the radio network is also going to be eliminated.
Early this morning, before Charlie started his show, he and I, Sully a little bit as well, we were talking about this very topic at 5-something this morning. And we didn't know anything about this. And what we were talking about is the future of what we do, is what we're talking about. I look at this story right here, and here's why it's sad. It's not just, it's so big. One, here is something, you're talking about almost 100 years of radio. That's what we're talking about, everyone. We're in a time now where it feels and seems like numbers speak louder than the voices that you've been used to. And what I mean by voices is this. I am extremely grateful to do what we do, right? We're more than content. We're more than numbers. Like, we literally, like, wherever you listen to Ursula and I, whether you're in your car, you're in your office, you're in your kitchen, you're on your back porch with coffee in your hand. There might be a specific time that you listen to us. And I think there's a potential of that going away because, look, it's going to be easier for big corporations to save money. And it seems like a lot of topics we keep talking about are layoffs and this going away. And we are just in a changing world. It's uncomfortable to hear about it, to see it, and just know that the way things used to be yesterday, what was important yesterday was connection. And it feels and seems like we're changing into a new world where numbers are more important than connection.
Well, and the numbers for CBS and the ownership right now is basically they're looking at it and they're seeing that there's this explosion of on-demand audio. Think about how many times you get information from podcasts. Even we have the Gee and Ursula Show podcast, which if you aren't already subscribing, please do. But think about it. I mean, there is this huge push. And so this idea, which has been around for 100 years with CBS News about hitting the top of the hour and that, bing, bong, bong, and then you've got the top of the hour news. Well, a lot of younger generation especially, that's not how they get their news. And why should they tune in at the top of the hour when they've already gotten it maybe 10 minutes before, right, on their phones?
Right.
I mean, so while I'm so sad that CBS Radio is being cut, and I know people who are still affiliated with it, and I'm horrified for them. I'm not entirely shocked because we've seen such dramatic cuts, not just in the CBS newsroom, but in newsrooms in general.
Right.
I mean, it's been happening. It's been happening. There have been companies, big buyouts. I mean, we just heard about this other one recently with Tegna, where more than 60% of TV stations are going to be owned by the same company. Mm-hmm. And so we're seeing, I mean, they're looking at the dollars. It's hard for companies to make money off when people were going to their podcasts. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you could see this happening, but it still doesn't take away the sting of it actually happening.
Well, before we move on to this, because Ursula, look, I want to go a little bit deeper on this topic. I feel like us just kind of talking about it, that's almost like a numbers being more important than connection. You've been doing this for 37 years, okay? And I'm assuming that when you first started in this industry, there were times where people says, hey, this is going away. This is going away.
Yeah, I've heard about the demise of broadcast news for a long time.
Right. So I'm asking you, put down your work stuff for a second. When you hear of CBS and this happening right here, what really goes through your mind? And this is a profession that you've been in for 37 years. This is something you've been a news anchor. You've been doing it all, right? There has to be more to it. What do you have for this?
Yeah, I don't think it is entirely. There's a part of me that's in denial, but the one thing that is sticking with me is how much more time is there going to be before it all does fold. We are particularly lucky because we have a very strong ownership group with Bonneville, and they are very dedicated to local news. But if you have this constant messaging of you can't trust people who are in the media, you have a younger generation moving into on-demand podcasts, all digital. Yeah, I mean, there are going to be things that go by the wayside. When I first started, we were still using reel-to-reels and cart machines. I mean, those things have been, you came into the picture here. You never saw one of those.
No.
I mean, so there are things, we have to evolve. But the thing that's so worrisome to me is these shrinking newsrooms and big companies swallowing up smaller ones. And then basically, I mean, how much diversity in voices and when you keep decimating newsrooms, who's going to be holding power to account?
Right.
I mean, it is a changing landscape that I think that we as a society are going to overall suffer in the long run.
You mentioned being naive, and I wonder if I'm being naive because I started off with talking about It seems today that numbers are more important than connection. I want to see something.
For a lot of people, for companies, the big corporations, which are taking over. Yeah, it's about the bottom line. Well, radio's no longer making business for them, not making enough money for them.
But it kind of reminds me of the brick and mortar when you go.
Well, I'm still trying to struggle to hang on to them. Yes.
A lot of the self checkouts, right? Like some people love self checkouts. You're like, hey, I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to do the thing. But is that going to be better for the United States? It's just another level of less connection. And so pretty soon, are we going to be getting our news straight from AI where it's just like it's more important? Like, hey, AI, that's all I need. Boom, thank you. Or is the connection? Because the bigger picture, and I'm not just speaking because this is an industry I'm in. I'm really speaking like, what's big picture? What's next? Okay, less connection, less connection, less connection. What would this truly mean for us as a people?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're already seeing it. We're already seeing where I want to hear from you listening right now, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Besides listening to this show, where else do you get your information? How has your listening changed or your viewing changed? I mean, that's what's most telling. And again, I will just say that we have a company that is dedicated to local programming, but so many other stations have gone by. You know what? It's a lot cheaper. This is an expensive format.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. CBS Radio, they looked at it and it's like, hey, it's too expensive. Even if they curbed and cut their newsroom, they still figured, you know what? We're not getting enough bang for our buck. So, and I just think as a society, there's going to be a vacuum.
Yeah.
So that's the part that makes me very sad. And our industry is not the only one facing big fat job layoffs.
Who else you
because Meta is now saying they could cut 20% of their workforce. And we already know from state filings that about 330 jobs were cut here in Washington in the last round, including in Seattle, in Bellevue, and about a third of those were remote workers. But Meta is just one piece of the layoff picture. Amazon, as you know, has cut more than 2,100 jobs in our state. That was on top of earlier cuts. I think that's a total of 4,500 local jobs lost in less than a year. T-Mobile cut nearly 400 jobs recently. And if you look at the bigger picture, about 13,000 people have been laid off in the Seattle area just in the last year, with more than half of those jobs in tech.
You know, it's crazy and it's really scary. Because if you go back to 2021, if I'm not mistaken, that was the time that the metaverse was being talked about a lot. There was going to be this name change, and that was the time where it's like, hey, it's not Facebook, it's Meta now. And everybody was talking about what the metaverse is going to be like, and you could probably buy real estate, and everybody's going to live online and virtually, all those things. So that was the big conversation just 5 years ago. And here we are now, there's another shift. That was 5 years ago. And they put in a lot of money into that. And to watch Meta make this change is scary. And then simultaneously, at the same time, you talked about what's happening with Amazon. Right now, Jeff Bezos is aggressively investing into AI. Right now, he's seeking to raise $100 billion to buy and automate manufacturing, aerospace, and defense firms. So what was 5 years ago, that change with Meta today, that will be even more different in the next 2 years. Things are changing so much.
Yeah.
And we just started talking about this AI space just a couple years ago.
Yes. So what does the future look like? Who the heck knows? Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is pressing the pause button on expanding the city's police camera network, but it's not a full stop. You sent this story to me yesterday. You're like, hey, look at this. Because right now, Seattle has more than 60 surveillance cameras. Most of them are around Aurora Avenue, downtown, and the Chinatown International District. Those ones are going to stay on. But what's being put on pause is the next wave of cameras that had been planned for like Garfield High School, Capitol Hill. And the city is going to now do a full audit of how those cameras are used and who can access the data. But there's one exception, which is the Stadium District, where cameras are still going to move forward ahead of the World Cup. Even there, Mayor Wilson says they won't be activated unless there's a credible threat, and right now that is not clearly defined.
For some people, seeing CCTV cameras in the neighborhood where they live or work or attend school makes them feel safer. For others, those same cameras make them feel less safe.
So she is also pulling the plug now, Gee, on automatic license plate readers that are about in use in about 400 police and parking enforcement vehicles. She's saying the legislature just passed a new law, so they got to make sure that the city aligns with that. Police chief has been very big on these cameras being invaluable for solving serious crimes, as business groups have wanted them too. But the mayor is trying to split the difference, and she says, and to the chagrin of many of her supporters, she's saying, you know what, we need some of them.
Yo, Katie Wilson. Hey, Mayor. Well done. I like how you did this. You split the baby on this one. Wait, am I allowed to say that? No.
Split the difference.
Okay.
She was able to.
Yeah, okay, I apologize.
Yeah.
Sometimes, y'all, I forget that I'm working, and I just think I'm on the couch. But no, let me just say this. This Katie Wilson, the one thing that I told you and said to you about her and her energy, she has a type of energy that's like, hey, I'm willing to listen and I'm willing to learn what's going on. This specific thing that she's done, this is an example of Mayor Katie Wilson reading the room. So she basically said, okay, look, I know when I campaign, I know a lot of my supporters, you guys wanted to get rid of all of these cameras. But what I have done is I've actually been, and I don't know this to be true, but it feels like Katie Wilson's basically saying, I'm actually having conversations with people. I'm actually having conversations with people that are impacted by crime. I'm actually having conversations. I'm talking to other people. I got my deputy mayor and all those things. I'm doing these things. So here's what I'm going to do. I am not going to take down the existing cameras. And then what I will do is I will continue to talk about this more, but I won't put up new cameras either. So I'm going to split the difference, like you said, and we're just going to do that. But as of now, I know how important it is to have those cameras up. As a matter of fact, for anybody that's complaining, just know this. Some of these cameras that's out here, some of the biggest reasons as to why we know what happened with the Rainier Beach thing that happened where 2 young men were killed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
cameras helped.
Cameras help.
Yeah, at least make an arrest.
Shout out. And by the way, I've been on Katie Wilson, but hey, I tell you what, lately, it lets me know that she's actually listening to the people. Shout out, Katie.
She said one of her quotes was, sometimes as the mayor, you make decisions that no one's going to like, and this might end up being one of those.
Go ahead, girl.
Okay. We desperately need some good news. Goodbye, winter. Hello, spring.
Okay.
As of 7:46 this morning, yes, we are officially in spring.
Okay.
That means that now we have crossed 12 hours of daylight here in Western Washington. We're gaining about 3.5 minutes of sunlight every single day. And by next week, sunsets are going to be pushing past 7:30. That means those 9 o'clock sunsets are just around the corner.
I'm happy. Now, wait. I was happy until I realized something.
What's that?
I realized, because you know your dog goes to sleep.
You do
about 8
really
o'clock
early.
These days.
Yeah.
I don't know how this is going to work with it still
You're gonna
being
have to change
daylight.
your time of your workout.
Our fearless boss is here with us today, one of them, Jacob. Do you have any ideas on what to, because you used to do some early shifts, right?
I've done some morning radio. I wear a sleep mask every night.
It's a great idea.
It just covers your eyes.
Yes, it stays dark.
It takes a couple nights to get used to.
Yes.
I can't imagine you wearing one.
G does not like the idea. That wouldn't be a good fit for G in bed.
You can add that to his wardrobe over there.
I know.
Listen, if I got a sleep mask on, my wife might start looking at me different. You know what I mean? Like, what if there's something loud in the middle of the night? She looks at her husband. He's got a sleep mask on. No, I'll just call the police. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'll look real intimidating with that on your forehead.
Yeah. All right, Ursula. Okay, we got Flex Fridays coming up at 9:47. But Ursula is she's excited because coming up next, have y'all heard of Afro Man? If you have, great. If you haven't, great. Ursula's gonna set this. He's gonna set this up next. You gotta hear about Afro Man. Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Save $10 on a pair of Rain-X Latitude wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people will even install them for free.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here's a tale of Linda trying to lose weight, but the med prices she found were all over the place.
Hidden fees and markups made her jaw drop low. Then she found Good RX. Now she's in the know.
GLP-1 subscriptions FDA approved.
With clear upfront pricing.
And same-day pickup.
That's Good RX, the no-nonsense way. Save time and money on prescriptions.
Get to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Jillian Raftery. At the White House, CBS News correspondent Nancy Cordes tells us how the White House is responding to reports that President Trump is in favor of taking over Iran's Karg Island.
They're not necessarily denying the article, but they're saying that the president yesterday indicated that he has no plans right now to put boots on the ground, but that, of course, he retains all options and that he's not going to telegraph those options to the media. The reason that they are eyeing a potential operation on Karg Island is because that's really the key to Iran's not just oil production, but oil shipping.
The administration has asked for $200 billion to fund more military action. In Georgia, a woman has been charged with murder after taking abortion pills late in her pregnancy. That state has restrictive abortion laws that ban the procedure after 6 weeks in almost all circumstances. The Senate convenes at noon today to resume the consideration of the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, otherwise called the SAVE Act. CBS Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto.
Requiring a valid photo ID to vote gets wide support to 80%. Almost all Republicans feel that would be a good idea. But you also see that with 2/3 of Democrats and a big majority, almost 8 in 10 independents. Requiring documents showing proof of citizenship to register to vote. That's 2/3 in favor.
Someone is on the run with a large metal T-Rex statue. This happened in Spokane County. It was stolen from a roundabout in the suburb of Meade. It was installed just a few months ago, part of a pair in that area that neighbors say made their area feel more fun and homey. But on March 8th, someone ripped out a metal stand that was bolted to the ground and made off with the shiny reptile. Repairs are estimated at $70,000. But the community wants their dino back. If you have any information, call the Spokane County Sheriff. We're going to check in with KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. We are pretty Friday light. Linwood to Seattle, 39 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 29 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 21 minutes. Your lake bridges are clear. There's just a little snag in the south end, I-5 northbound, right around the Fife curve. A little slowing, not really clear why, but it's only going to cost you about a minute. This report brought to you by Closets by Design. Custom storage solutions for closets, garages, home offices, and more. Go to closetsbydesign.com to see current specials or 1-800-BY-DESIGN to learn more. We are going to have off and on rain today and then sprinkles early Saturday with sunshine later in the day and a high of 50. It's 54 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. I'm going to admit something, Gee. Up until this morning, I really had no idea what this whole Afro Man thing was about. But I'm so glad that Jacob is producing today. Yeah. And he asked you if you wanted to talk about it, because yesterday you were like, okay, it just goes so deep. And then today you were like, okay, yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah. And by the way, I sent Jacob a song. He was like, gee, we can't play the song for Lisa.
Not all the Afro Man songs are appropriate for radio.
Okay, but you pulled me a good one, because yesterday Paul dogged me yesterday with something that I ran into. Okay, so imagine this though. Okay, police raid your house. They find nothing, and then you end up getting sued. So that is what happened, and it involved a rapper called Afro Man.
Yeah.
So this happened in 2022. Deputies in Ohio raided his home looking for drugs and a kidnapping victim. So some very serious charges, but they came up empty, nothing. So Afro Man took his home security footage of the raid, the officers breaking in, searching his house, and then turned that into music videos. And he came up with titles like, "Will You Help Me Repair My Door?" and "Lemon Pound Cake." So listen to a little bit of it.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break. They found no kidnapping victims, just some lemon pound cake. Mama's lemon pound cake. It tastes so nice. It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice.
Okay, people loved it, though. Okay, people loved it.
Yeah.
But now the deputies decided they were going to sue him.
Defamation.
Afro-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they claimed invasion of privacy, emotional distress. They said they never agreed to be in his videos, and they basically became part of the punchline. So listen to this in court.
Sean, you were called Officer Pound Cake by Mr. Foreman?
Multiple times.
You
We received hundreds of pound cakes at work.
They call him Officer Pound Cake. Wait a minute.
Okay, but then Afro Man responded.
Under the circumstance that I got freedom of speech, after they run around my house with guns and kick down my door, I got the right to kick a can in my backyard, use my freedom of speech, turn my bad times into a good time. Yes, I do. And I think I'm a sport for doing so, because I don't go to their house, kick down their doors, flip them off on their surveillance cameras, then try to play the victim and sue them.
And jury agreed with Afro Man and found that he was not liable for defamation.
In all circumstances, the jury finds in favor of the defendant. No plaintiff verdict prevailed.
I didn't win. America won. America still has freedom of speech. It's still for the people, by the people. The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break.
I needed a laugh.
I just want to say, for Officer Pound Cake and for the sheriff, this was the cleanest and the nicest stuff. And by the way, he took all of it. Like, they came into his house. They took $400. He had cameras everywhere. And, I mean, some of the officers, and when they were getting cross-examined, because he made one talking, man, he was talking about the officer's wife. And because they had just had, they have an 11-year-old child, and then people around town start wondering if the child was Afro Man's, and so they're cross-examining him and asking him. So they ask him, like, "Sir, so did your wife mess with Afro Man?" And he's like, "Well, we've been together since middle school, but well, I don't know." I mean, like. This Afro Man really turned things around. And by the way, the song about Lisa, we couldn't even play it on the air.
But can you describe, like, what was he wearing in court?
Because his whole thing is the protection of the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and he's wearing America everything, suit, head to toe, sunglasses, flags, everything. Afro Man. And by the way, this is the same Afro Man that sang the song. Am I allowed to say this one, Jacob?
Yeah.
Because I got high.
And I think it's important context. This isn't just like a local Ohio rapper. Like he's a real
because I got high. Because I got high. Yeah, that guy.
Okay, I
so
don't know
they
that
messed
one.
with the wrong person. And so what he
Can
did,
you find it?
Yeah.
So I think I still know.
What he did is he just took them inside of his house and he just made parodies of all of them.
They took money too?
They took $400 alleged from him. Now, the crazy thing...
Do you know that they were suing, though? So the attorney for the police was suing for nearly $4 million in damages?
Yeah, because everybody on social media is really going to town. I mean, you heard the pound cake. The sheriff was being sent pound cake, man.
For the record, I love pound cake.
No, yeah, wait. That's also, how is it? That's not damages. That's delightful food that you're getting.
Yeah.
And then Lisa, she was a part of it, and poor Lisa cried there on stand because they played the song while she was on the stand. Like I said, we can't play the song for Lisa, but if you guys get a chance, go and look up the song for Lisa, and Afro Man did not hold back. Yeah. And then he even talked about some of the people that got away, that left the state before this all came to be. But yeah, they were trying to sue him. And the crazy part about this is here he is, he's making fun of law enforcement. But the majority of people were like, yeah, we're on your side, Afro Man, because they were wrong.
Well, exactly. I mean, the evidence was there. He had it lined up.
And the one big cop was like,
victory for freedom of speech.
The big cop was like, I've been under a lot of stress, emotional stress. And I mean, this had to do, he made a parody song about my wife and all this stuff. I mean,
the jury wasn't moved.
The jury was not moved. So watch out for Afro Man. All right. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, we got a lot of stuff first.
Because I got high.
Yeah, that's.
Do you remember?
That's Afro Man
no,
right there.
I still don't remember.
That's Afro Man. Okay, we got Flex Fridays to talk about coming up next. And next, they say the death of house parties and why Gen Z is so desperate for them now. We'll talk about all that next. Gee and Ursula.
I was gonna get up and find the broom, but then I got high. My room is still messed up.
The Jake and Spike Show.
I check it late at night when my wife's not looking.
Weekdays noon to 3.
My favorite thing on my phone, which is my weather app.
First thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
On KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to cars4kids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Many people spend 30 or 40 years preparing for retirement, savings, investing, watching the markets, but very little time preparing on how retirement actually works once the paychecks stop. That's why Madrona Financial and CPAs is hosting a live webinar based on the book 7 Steps to a Successful Retirement, written by Brian Evans, CEO of Madrona Financial. In this webinar, their advisory team will discuss income strategies intended to support retirement spending needs, strategies to reduce unnecessary taxes, and how to align your investments with long-term goals so your money supports the life you truly want to live. Because retirement isn't a single decision. It's a coordinated strategy. To register or learn more, visit madronafinancial.com or call 833-673-7373. And be sure to catch Growing Your Wealth Saturdays at 9 a.m.
This is a paid advertisement. Investments involve risk. See full disclosures at madronafinancial.com.
Chris Domine is a husband and a father. Chris is an athlete. Chris is even an Iron Man. But 10 years ago, Chris was facing a very different story because his kidneys were failing.
Basically, the doctor said, if you don't get a kidney transplant and if you don't do dialysis, you are going to die.
Fortunately, Chris received a second chance at life, made possible by an organ donor.
You know, your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
More than 100 million people in America are registered organ, eye, and tissue donors. People of every age and ethnicity. because they believe it's the right thing to do. Imagine what you could make possible by leaving behind the gift of life. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
High five! Up top! Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Heck yeah! He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread. Yes! The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping. Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Flex Fridays to everyone right now. It is time for that. It's time to check in. As you all know, every Friday at 9:47. Because of Ursula, she wanted to do this all year in 2026. It's the time that you text in and let us know your progress. Did you get a workout in this week? Did you do anything active outside of normal activity to kind of get some exercise? Ursula, start us off. What'd you do this week?
Okay, well, this week I have started the jumping jacks as a regular.
Okay.
First thing in the morning and also before I go to bed. I know that sounds crazy, but it actually works for me because those are times when I can do them.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you I got up to 100, which was a shocker for me because my knees have been kind of acting up.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one. Last night I went to the gym and I stayed a little bit longer, on the treadmill, and I also lifted more weights. Yeah. I'm working primarily on doing more leg exercises, but I'm actually going to get with a trainer.
Okay.
Because I really have no idea what the heck I'm doing.
That's fine. But I told you in the very beginning of all this, I said, don't worry about getting everything right now. I told you, as soon as you start, what's going to happen is you yourself are going to be motivated to do more. Now, here we are in month 3. Now you're like, you know what? I might need a trainer. But I got to tell you something where you motivated me about something, and you didn't realize it. And I think that if you were listening to when Ursula said it, I wonder if you were motivated by it too. And I'm even when I do this show and just in general, I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
Like teachers and back in school, I need to have visualization. You said something that really got me the other day. Is when you came back from your trip, you'd gone to the Philippines, and you were talking about all of the different things that you were doing. You're getting in and out of boats and things, and you're talking about how, you wanting to travel right now while you can to do these things. And I really thought about that. And the reason what I thought about is that's probably some of the biggest reasons why I do work out now is because something simple, as in, hey, go to the airport, right? Go from the airport, from the car to your gate.
Yeah, international arrivals is a big fat walk, by the way, coming back in.
Now, are you going to be able to do that?
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
On your own, and then when you go, are you going to be able to, okay, hey, you're going to go on this trip. What things can you and can you not do because of, that was stuck in my mind, and it actually gave me more motivation, like, hey, I want to be able to do these things with my grandkids for as long as I can. You can't fight. I mean, look, eventually Father Time's going to win.
Right.
No question. But I want to fight Father Time as long as I can. So you help do that.
And and thank you for mentioning that, because I'm not joking. When I was in the water, so I was in the ocean, and I was trying to get back onto the boat. And initially I was like, are you kidding me? Because we're floating around and I'm supposed to get on this rickety wood ladder back into the boat.
Yeah.
And, you're basically pulling out your own weight and the whole thing, and people are waiting behind you. And when I was able to do it with relative ease.
Yeah.
Okay. And for those of you who work out every day, I know that you're like, big dang deal. But I'm telling you, I was like, thank God for Flex Fridays. I could tell that I was that much stronger, that my, it wasn't killing me to have to get in and out of the water.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, how much time do I have to do this? But thank God that doctor said the next time I see you, you cannot have a single excuse for not doing this at least once a week. So now I need to get it to. I know, and you were super encouraging because you do it every single day. Connie in Mount Lake Terrace was saying, we got a lot of people posting on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page.
Yeah, we do.
And they're telling us, about what they're doing. I love that people are doing it 3, 4, 5 times a day, and I want to get there. But right now, I'm just congratulating myself that I'm going to the gym at least once a week, and I'm trying to do something on my own every day.
Well, you know the saying, you either move it or lose it. You know what I mean? And I think that is definitely a true thing. My dad used to, he would say all the time, when people say, how you doing? He says, I woke up this morning and I was able to tie my shoes. He would always say that. And the little things, and especially sometimes when I get injured, when I'm doing stuff, and you really take for granted what you can do all the time until you lose something. Like, have you ever hurt your big toe before? Anybody that's hurt their big toe, you don't realize how important your big toe is. Now, I know that has nothing to do with working out, but my point remains, like, move it or lose it.
Yes. Well, speaking of moving it and losing it, Nick and Paulsbo just texted in, I have my 5-mile walks under 50 minutes, so they are officially jogs now, and I just bought pants that are a 34 waist from a 46 when I started.
Whoa, Nick!
That's huge. That's a huge loss. Good for you.
What? Mac in Bellevue says, well, I can say I walked to McDonald's. Does that count?
Well, you walked.
But Mac,
you didn't just park at the front door.
But Mac in Bellevue is also law enforcement, so he does a lot of walking. Hey, Jacob, you tend to work out a little bit too.
Yes, I've started up at a new gym. I'm trying that out. I also play indoor soccer once a week, so that's actually
that's a lot.
Yeah. Those are and I bike to work sometimes. Not as so much in the rain, but when it clears up.
Nick, what's that, man?
Just keeping with my regular routine. I've been, like I mentioned last week, where it's I try and stand when I'm watching TV or shows or anything like that, and I got a little dumbbells, light dumbbells where you do some curls and presses like that. But when the weather's nice out too, I'm trying to go with my regular runs as well.
Dana in Everett says, I coach my son's 8 to 9-year-old Little League team. I really fried myself on being able well, maybe it was pride. I really pride myself on being able to get down and do the drills and all the running with them that I'm asking them to do. It's a huge bit of pride for me and a huge motivator to stay active. Yeah, I think that's huge.
It is huge. Jennifer on our Facebook page said, I built up my home gym and I lost 20 pounds in the past 4 months.
Whoa, Jennifer.
She's using on-demand workouts. She lifts heavy 3 times a week, spin class 2 times a week.
Stephen in Issaquah says he lost 75 pounds in 4 months because of working out.
Well, see, now I'm motivated. Because I will tell you, as much as I was moving around in the Philippines, I was having too many Filipino breakfasts. So I came back, stood on the scale. I was like, no.
I think here's my goal right now. It's not a weight loss. It's not anything. My goal, Ursula, is I want to be able to say I was in better shape in my 50s than my 40s.
I know, and you got a big fat birthday coming up.
Fat birthday.
I need to start reminding you every single day.
Yeah, it's coming up. All right, good stuff. Man, a lot of feedback on Flex Fridays. Hey, Ursula, she asked you guys something. What is your favorite quintessential Seattle Pacific Northwest song? When you think of maybe local artists, which songs are top of mind for you? What song music helps you escape from the madness that's going on in the world today? Text in your answers, and we'll play some of them during the 11:06 time. That segment, we'll play them then. What's the song that you're listening to right now? And or what are some of the songs that you think of? When I think Pacific Northwest, I think of this song. All right, we'll do all that next. Gee Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
I can't wait till I get a little older, be the really crotchety old guy, getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of fella who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Where you buy your vehicle matters. At Subaru of Puyallup, it's about safety for every drive, confidence in every season, and a buying experience that is stress-free. It starts with friendly experts who listen and continues with stress-free pricing, an easy process, and a genuine care that lasts the life of your Subaru. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event through March 31st, enjoy extra savings. Subaru of Puyallup, part of the Harnish Auto family. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing processing throughout the country. The Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
John Curley here. Last year was one of the hottest on record. Did you know a heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you efficient heating and cooling year-round for the price of paying for air conditioning? Don't wait. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The Trump administration is sending more firepower to the Middle East region, as Charlie Daggett reports.
CBS News has confirmed a contingent of U.S. Marines is heading to the region to help break Iran's stranglehold on the Strait of Hormuz. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has raised the idea of a ground invasion.
From there, you can do a lot of things from the air, and we're doing, but there has to be a ground component as well.
The Israelis have already begun deploying ground troops in their other war against Iran's proxies, Hezbollah, in Lebanon.
Action star Chuck Norris has died. His family said it was a sudden passing. He was 86 years old. Stacey Lynn has a look back at his career.
Chuck Norris was known for being macho, which he described as
a compassionate guy who can stand up when he needs to stand up.
That image made him a hit on the big screen, where he starred in more than 24 films.
I heard another rumor that you were bitten by a king cobra.
Yeah, I was. But after 5 days of agonizing pain, the cobra died.
But his most famous role was on the small screen. 'Cause the eyes of the ranger are... He played Sergeant Cordell Walker, an upstanding lawman, former Marine and martial arts expert in Walker, Texas Ranger. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
CBS's Shauna Mazzell reports from Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport on the latest security delays due to TSA workers calling out sick.
Wait times peaking at 200 minutes, and some folks telling me they got here more than 2.5 hours early and still missed their flight. Let's take a listen to one gentleman's frustrations.
We should not be punished because congressmen are fighting with each other.
So ultimately, folks are really hoping that this partial government shutdown ends shortly so their travel can be less impacted.
Meteorologist Rob Marciano has the latest on the western heat wave.
97 expected in Las Vegas, 107 to get 31 above average Palm Springs, and into the 80s across parts of the northern tier as well. So that's today. Tomorrow, we begin to shift things a little bit farther to the east. Oklahoma City getting into it, Little Rock as well, and in Kansas City at 91 degrees.
NASA's moon rocket's back at the launch pad following hangar repairs. CBS's Mark Strassman is at the Kennedy Space Center.
The 4-mile trip to the pad began just after midnight, delayed by more than 4 hours because of high winds. Getting into the pad is a heavy lift. The rocket, topped by the Orion capsule and stacked with the mobile launcher, all together weigh 11 million pounds.
If all goes well, it will blast off in early April with 4 astronauts. On Wall Street today, stocks are lower, the Dow off 170 points. This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at JTV.com.
An officer-involved shooting in Everett turns deadly. We'll tell you as much information as we have in just a moment. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. And we are Friday light. Linwood to Seattle is just 34 minutes right now. Federal Way to Seattle, 33 minutes. Nothing blocking that I can see. And in the south end, pretty much a speed limit drive anywhere you want to go. I do see a little bit of a backup on 512. I'm not sure what that's coming from, but it's heading into North Puyallup, and that's going to delay you a few minutes there. We are seeing a little bit of slowing on 405 through the S-curves. Renton to Bellevue is now 20 minutes, but that's only 4 minutes more than the speed limit drive. A little bit of slowing coming out of Canyon Park on 405 southbound, but again, not more than just a few minutes. This report brought to you by Closets by Design, custom home storage solutions for closets, garages, home offices, and more. Go to closetsbydesign.com to see current specials or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to learn more.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. We have just learned that a shooting involving an Everett police officer has now turned deadly. Very little information has been released at this point. What we do know so far is that officers were called to the 8700 block of 7th Avenue Southeast around 3 a.m. We don't know what that call was yet or what led to shots fired. We do know the person who was injured died at the hospital. They are not a police officer. No police officers were injured. We are also told there is no outstanding threat to the community. Through the morning, investigators had the scene on 7th Avenue Southeast roped off as they pieced together what happened. 2 schools on that block are shut down for the day. The victim of a stabbing in Tacoma from back in January has now died. This happened early at the morning of the 20th at a clean and sober house. Investigators say a man who recently moved in was having a mental health crisis and attacked his roommates. Renton police say a 36-year-old paraeducator at Hazen High School is accused of sexual misconduct involving a minor. The victim is no longer a student there. Gas prices are climbing again, jumping about 25 cents in just the past week. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the higher prices could soon drive a lot of farmers in our state out of business.
Farmers are still feeling the impact of tariffs and labor shortages from last year, with losses across Washington's agriculture industry now estimated at around $400 million. Dylan Honkoop with Save Family Farms tells me gas prices could drive many farms to the brink of disaster.
The costs keep stacking up, and they have to decide how much longer can we keep doing this, and will this be the one that finally ends our family's legacy after potentially many generations.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The statewide average in Washington has now topped $5 a gallon, with drivers in King County paying around $5.46. March Madness is in full swing. The Husky women nailed the number 6 seed and will play number 11 South Dakota State Jackrabbits today. Tip off at 11:30 this morning. Now your weather forecast: cloudy with periods of light rain, a high of 56. Tomorrow, we do have showers, but we will have some sun breaks later in the day with a high of 50. It's 54 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to you. Happy Fresh Friday. Good morning to you, Ursula.
You just can't help yourself. Hey, coming up at 10:30, we just found out, Jake has been working hard as our producer today, and we just found out that someone from the Secretary of State's office is going to join us, because I read something. Danny West needs column.
Oh, the Save America Act?
Yeah, the proposed SAVE Act, and I didn't realize how much it would actually affect us here in the state of Washington, where we have all mail-in ballots. So we're going to get into that, but I just want to let you know that we will have someone from the Secretary of State's office coming up at 10:30. And then just a reminder, we still want you to weigh in. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. We asked you at the top of the show, what is your number one quintessential Seattle or Pacific Northwest song? What comes to mind when you think, okay, this is what symbolizes local music, whether it's past or present? What is that? And then also, with everything going on in the world today, is there a musician or is there a song that is your go-to right now that you're like, man, if I want to just chill, this is what I'm going to listen to? Right. So let us know what that is, because Nick has taken a look at what some of your responses are, and we will talk about that coming up in the 11 o'clock hour.
Okay.
But right now,
what's new at 10?
Let's talk about that SAVE Act, because Washington's top election officials are sounding the alarm. They are saying that the same conspiracy theories that exploded after the 2020 election are now starting to resurface, just as Congress considers major changes as to how people actually vote. And again, this is this proposed SAVE Act. Supporters say it's about election security, but critics, including Washington officials, are saying this could create major hurdles for voters here. And one provision would require voters to submit a copy of their ID every time they mail in a ballot, or risk having that vote rejected. And again, that's kind of a big deal because we've got more than 4 million people who vote by mail, if people bother to vote.
Right.
So, as I said, coming up at 10:30, we'll have someone from the Secretary of State's office. Do you feel like we are drinking from a fire hose when it comes to news? Like, there are times I'm looking at like, okay, wait a minute. I can't even pay attention to this because we're paying so much attention to this.
Yeah.
And this is one of those where I haven't really been paying close attention.
I think that we spend our time paying attention to ridiculous news. And let me explain. Remember, there was a time where people, media included, gathered around and nonstop talked about the birth certificate of Barack Obama? You guys remember that? You remember how much time was spent on that whole thing, right? And a lot of the news that we're talking about today, now you're talking about voter fraud and all that. The FBI closed a 2020 election fraud inquiry that was ordered by Nevada's top federal prosecutors. They found that 38 non-citizens may have voted in the 2020 presidential election. When people have this idea of voter fraud and people voting illegally, for some reason, the narrative is shaped on, well, the people that voted illegally, they were all voting for Democrats. If that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times when you talk about the news and things that happen today, they can't be rewritten. This is something I said last week to you. They can't be rewritten. They can only be reframed. And the reason why every single day, you and I, we get on here and constantly we're reacting to people trying to reframe the news, people trying to reframe history, people so much so with history, literally books have been thrown out. These certain type of books have gone away because nobody wants to know about that history. That history makes us uncomfortable. So back to this voter stuff, and I'm glad we're going to have somebody hopefully come on to talk about it. We're doing the same thing. Do we really want to talk about the history centered around voting, centered around elections?
And what would it take for people to believe that there is no voter fraud? I mean, even though all the courts have thrown out these cases and said there is no evidence of it, the people, we're talking Republicans and Democrats who run elections, are saying, no, there's no evidence of voter fraud. But you not liking the outcome of an election is not evidence that there was widespread voter fraud.
The crazy thing is if there was widespread voter fraud, and by the way, there were people around here that I know that talked about the election being stolen in 2020, don't you all find it weird that he won in 16, he didn't win in 20, and he won again in 24? So if there was voter fraud in 2020, then why didn't it happen again in 24?
Yeah, well, and do you see, though, how people within his cabinet and anyone who is a current supporter of the administration cannot even say out loud that Joe Biden won in 2020?
No.
They're forbidden to do it.
But to answer your question, there is no convincing. The same way, may my grandmother rest in peace, there was no convincing her that the church that she went to, that she would take the bus to, that she would cook the food for, did not care about her. And she never found out because it's the same preacher that didn't even show up for her funeral.
Oh, no.
So sometimes you literally, and maybe you're listening right now, maybe you know someone in your life that there is no facts or anything.
You can't. There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do.
Yes.
Like,
and
no
they won't
matter
trust
what.
you unless it verifies what they already believe.
It reminds me, it's like being a parent to kids. Like you're telling little Johnny and little Susie, don't do this or this will happen. They don't listen to you. It happens, and they still don't believe it after it happens.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's talk about this veteran State Patrol trooper who has now resigned more than a year after allegedly killing a motorcyclist in a drunken crash.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about her on the show.
Yes, we did.
Her name is Trooper Sarah Clayson, and investigators say she was driving drunk when she turned in front of Jose Sanchez's motorcycle. This was on March 1st of last year. And her blood alcohol level, which was taken nearly 6 hours later, was 0.17. Of course, that's more than twice the legal limit. And there was body cam footage that showed her laughing and joking around with her state patrol colleagues who showed up to the scene.
Dude, I didn't even know it was you. Are you all right? I didn't even realize that either at first.
No.
I thought you just stopped. I know I was walking up. Sorry. It looks like
No.
I would have been a little more like,
No.
are you okay?
No.
I just
No, you're
saw
good,
you and I was like, oh, she must have been driving
We were
home.
going to order
Yeah.
pizza, and I was like, no, I'll just go get it and save a $6 charge.
And remember, I believe it was the Richland
Yes.
police officer
Yes,
who
it
came
was.
on the scene and was finally like, you know what?
And they questioned him.
Yes.
They questioned him.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like he is I don't want to say hero, but he is the person who did the right thing and did what he was supposed to do to make this case actually potentially stick. I mean, she has resigned, but she still will end up having a trial. But I'm glad she resigned.
Well, I'm glad she resigned too. But if not for that Richland police officer, she would have got off. No doubt. The same thing that happened down in Pierce County. If not for that state patrol, right, that officer that went to find the alleged suspect in that whole thing, that left the scene of a crime right there with that whole car accident, when he was allowed to have his wife come and pick him up and take him to urgent care. If not for that police officer going to urgent care and get that testing, he would have gotten off. It's almost like that there has been a time in our society where law enforcement have been able to get away with things. And the only reason why it is not happening as much today is because of technology. Technology is the reason why it makes it tough. No wonder so many people fought against body cams. Nobody wanted the body cams. And so this, Ursula, this state...
I mean, that's the least you could do is resign, basically.
No doubt.
Absolutely. Hey, have you heard the sad news?
Ursula.
Yeah.
You really going to lead with that?
Well, actually,
have you heard the sad news?
Well,
we've heard all
Chuck
sad
Norris.
news all day.
I know.
Oh, Chuck.
Yeah. So he has died at the age of 86.
Chuck Norris was a 6-time world karate champion before launching his Hollywood career. He rose to fame in the 1970s and 80s, starring in numerous films, including Bruce Lee's The Way of the Dragon.
Wrong answer.
Missing in Action.
Sleep tight, sucker.
And The Delta Force.
In the eyes of a ranger.
But Norris is most known for starring in the hit TV show Walker, Texas Ranger. He played Cordell Walker for 9 seasons. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Man, I got to quote my good buddy Jonathan Dichter, and I'm taking this from him. Death didn't take Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris finally penciled death into his schedule. And death came to him to pay respects. So Chuck Norris didn't die. He simply gave eternity permission to begin. Chuck!
Were you shocked?
Yes.
Shocked that at age 86, I didn't even think he was 86 because he's always been so fit.
I'll tell you what this death, Chuck Norris, reminds me of. This one, well, first, let's be real. I had to quadruple check. Y'all know they have tried to kill Chuck Norris a lot of times on social media.
This is true.
Unfortunately. But Ursula, you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Suzanne Summers when she passed away. You want to talk about the epitome. Like, these people, they look amazing. Chuck Norris looked amazing.
Yeah.
Suzanne Summers
Never
looked amazing. Never aged. So Chuck Norris was, I'm a huge fan of Chuck Norris back in the day, even though back when I was coming up, it was Chuck Norris versus Bruce Lee. And so during that time, I wasn't really team Chuck Norris during that time. I was team Bruce Lee.
Yeah, because before he started movies, he was very successful in competitive martial arts.
Right. So if anybody, that Gen X kids, if you baby boomers, if you guys were watching, maybe you were team Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris. But yeah, this was very sad news. Can you stop giving us sad news today? Jeez.
I wish.
You control the
so
news,
Robert
Ursula.
Thompson. Thanks, G. Blame it on me. Bobby in Tacoma says Chuck Norris served as a U.S. Air Force security police officer before he learned martial arts. John in Snohomish says Chuck Norris is a legend and will live on forever. I think we should have Chuck Norris Day. Robert Thompson is a professor of TV and popular culture at Syracuse University, and he speaks of Norris's life and legacy.
Chuck Norris was always this really serious martial arts guy and really serious about often serious subjects. The movies about rescuing POWs and all of that kind of thing.
Yo, I mean, Chuck was dope. Again, I don't think like Gen Z and all these kids, they're like, oh yeah, I've seen Chuck on social media and all this stuff and the memes. But if you are Gen X, our day, Ursula, for us the young fellas, the boy, Lone Wolf back in the day with David Carradine.
Yeah.
Oh,
David Carradine.
Yeah.
I know people right now, if you're of a certain age, like younger than a certain age, you're like, who?
Now, can I be honest with y'all
you're
about
like Jacob's
something?
Age.
Now, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this,
okay,
but I got to tell you
you're
something.
But you're going to do it anyway.
I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah. So here's the truth. When I think of Chuck Norris, everybody has their vision of Chuck Norris.
Uh-huh.
When I think of Chuck Norris was one of the main reasons why I wanted hair on my chest. No, I'm being serious. Like Chuck Norris used to have some nice hair on his chest, and I thought that was a real cool thing back in the 80s. TC from Magnum PI and all that. I used to try to open up and have. I used to want. I'm being serious.
No, I know you are.
Really want
during
hair
the
on my
Miami
chest.
Vice days, did you do the sockless shoes and the?
Yes. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. Tubbs and Crockett. Tubbs has some hair on, a little bit of hair on his chest, but Chuck Norris. Now, I'm glad I didn't get the hair on my body the way Chuck Norris. I didn't realize that was like, I don't know if you really want that. But again, I'm just letting you guys into how much I go back to Chuck Norris.
Yeah. Roger in University Place, just real quick, says, Chuck was the reason I got into and stayed in the martial arts. I studied a different style than he did, but he was always my inspiration for staying involved. We had a bunch of people texting in and saying, are you going to talk about Chuck Norris? Because he inspired a lot of people.
Yeah. Looking at Jake's beard, looked like he inspired him.
I think mine's actually bigger than Chuck ever allowed his to get, to my knowledge. I will say, to your point, Ursula, yeah, I do think Chuck Norris was just barely before my time.
Yes.
In a certain sense, like none of his shows were really meaningfully on prime time when I was growing up, but for some reason, we still loved Chuck Norris jokes, like even as children. Yeah. If listeners will text them in, I'm delighted to read them, and I'll certainly put them in the text if they are appropriate. I know some of them are beyond the bounds of the FCC, but a lot of them I remember being fairly innocent, then we shared with each other. Again, even in the early 2000s.
Josh in Auburn says, it's okay, guys. Chuck Norris will be attending his own funeral, and he will carry his own casket before he gets in it.
Right.
Chuck Norris was
right.
He was great.
Okay, just a reminder, coming up in the 11 o'clock hour, because we want to have fun. We want to make it a full, fun, flex, fresh Friday. What are your favorite quintessential Seattle or Pacific Northwest songs? Pick one.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think of a local artist, who is that? What song comes top of mind? Someone already texted in, because I was like, I'm an 80s gal. So someone texted in already, same song that I came up with. And then what is the song that right now helps you escape from the madness that's going on today?
Do me a favor, though. I will tell you the songs that I'm listening to this lady all day, every day. That's what I listen to currently. But when I give you guys my song for the Pacific Northwest, it's not going to be like, it's the song that I was listening to every day when I first moved here.
Yeah,
27
that's
years
mine
ago.
too.
Okay, so
it doesn't have to be a artist who lived here.
So, but every time that I hear this artist, it reminds me of when I moved here to Seattle. It was a song I listened to every day. All right, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, we got.
Actually, sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to, because we've changed it. It is going to be Stuart Holmes is the Director of Elections for the Secretary of State's office. You don't have this information. I'm giving it to you live on the air, but he's who we're going to talk to next.
And
it's going to be about voter fraud.
Yeah, and then he's going to give facts, and then people are not going to believe him. There's nothing he can say.
Our listeners are very smart. I count on them.
All right. We'll do all that next. Gee and Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Come in now during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. If you live anywhere around the Seattle area, you have probably noticed something that I have when I drive around town. Carter Subaru license plate frames are everywhere. And you know what? That is not an accident. Carter Subaru has built a reputation over decades for doing something that sometimes is rare in car buying, which is treating their customers well. We know, our family does know from experience, we are repeat customers at Carter Subaru. We drive an Outback and a Forester, and they've been great cars. But every time we've worked with the folks at Carter Subaru, it's been the same. We've never felt any pressure, no games, just really honest conversations. They're also Seattle's only Subaru dealership with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. More than 700 vehicles in stock right now, including the Subaru Forester, starting at just 0.9% financing on approved credit. Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 3/31/26.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What did the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
There's no championship league for small business owners. But if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Yikey Wawa.
What?
My hot water.
Yeah?
Not so hot.
Water heater trouble?
It's not working.
We can fix that.
This week?
How about today?
Apollo Plumbing really is ready right now.
Especially when it comes to water heater replacement.
Think I need a new one?
Is it more than 10 years old?
It is.
Probably so.
Doesn't heat like it used to.
It runs out?
All the time.
That's a warning sign.
Uh-oh.
So are little leaks.
But Apollo can get me a new one?
Installed today by our clean screen trained and trusted plumbers. They're water heater experts.
But I probably got to pay a rush fee.
No extra charge.
You make this too easy.
We'll even haul off the old one.
A new water heater.
Same day. That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
This is going to get my budget in hot water.
Got you covered there too.
How?
Our available payment plans.
I don't have to wait?
Or take cold showers.
You are a lifesaver.
Call us this morning. You'll have hot water today.
That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself. And Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Day 21 of the U.S.-Israel war against Iran, and the strikes and counterstrikes continue. More from CBS's Rami Inocencio, who's monitoring developments in the Middle East from the Foreign Desk in London.
Our CBS News team in Israel tells us that there were at least 8 barrages of missiles from Iran, most of which were aimed at northern Israel. Haifa was one city mentioned, but no significant damage reported. Iran this morning also launching missiles on its Gulf neighbors, drones as well, Dubai, Kuwait, Saudi, and Bahrain.
Israel today has been attacking non-energy infrastructure in Iran, including targets in Tehran, the capital. And of course, all of this conflict is having gas prices go up and up. Average gas prices are up $1.10 from a year ago. A government watchdog says many nursing homes are falsely labeling dementia patients as schizophrenic so they can be sedated.
Most antipsychotic drugs are not approved for patients with dementia because they increase the risk of falls and strokes. But the Office of Inspector General for the Department of Health and Human Services found many nursing homes will intentionally misdiagnose those patients so they can be given sedatives to quiet them. It reduces the workload on staff and artificially improves the nursing home star ratings on the Medicare website. A lobbying group for the nursing home industry claims the Inspector General's report is based on a small number of facilities. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A state-run youth treatment center in Burien is facing serious allegations of neglect and abuse. A report by an oversight group obtained by The Times found children with unexplained bruises. They also suggested staff may have intentionally agitated kids just to justify physically restraining them. The facility was supposed to treat youth with significant developmental disabilities and mental illnesses before sending them back home stabilized. Basketball fans, listen up. Governor Bob Ferguson has another meeting on Monday with the NBA commissioner as the league considers expanding to Seattle.
I plan to do a lot of listening. What I've tried to emphasize with him and others is that the state stands ready to be helpful, that this is a priority for me.
KIRO 7 TV reports next week's vote is just the first step in a potential Sonics return. Now we're going to check your KIRO News Radio traffic, and we are looking pretty good. Linwood to Seattle, 37 minutes. It's kind of holding stable at that Friday semi-light because of that I-5 construction zone on the Ship Canal. Federal Way to Seattle, 35 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, just 20 minutes. 14 minutes. Bothell to Bellevue, even though there's a little slowing coming out of Canyon Park. And lake bridges look clear as well. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio. We are still going to have some showers sticking around throughout the day, but some cloud breaks. High 56 tomorrow. Some Some showers to start the day and sunshine later in the day and high of 50. It's 54 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is 10:33 on this fresh Friday. Washington's top election officials are warning that the same conspiracy theories from 2020 are creeping back now, just as Congress is weighing a major voting overhaul. At the center of all this is the proposed SAVE Act. Supporters, including President Trump, call it election security. Critics say it could make voting harder, especially in states like Washington. And joining us now on the Gee and Ursula Show is Stuart Holmes. He's the Director of Elections for the Secretary of State's office. Thank you for coming on to the show, Stuart.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good morning. So walk us through this. How would the SAVE Act actually change the way we would vote here in Washington?
Yeah, so on signature of the president, the Save America Act would actually enforce documentary proof of citizenship for all new registrations in the state or in the nation from that point forward. What that would mean is that voters or applicants, I should say, would be required to provide proof of citizenship at the time of registration.
Okay. So some people would ask, what's the big deal of that? Why is that an issue?
I think the most common source of proof of citizenship in the state of Washington would be those enhanced IDs or enhanced driver's license that people have potentially seen to get on an airplane or board a flight at SeaTac Airport. The unfortunate reality is 67% of the public do not have an enhanced ID. What that would mean is that those drivers that just have your regular old-fashioned ID or driver's license would actually have to bring in a birth certificate. And unfortunately, if that birth certificate does not have your current name, if you've changed your name over the period of time, you'd have to bring also another piece of ID to establish that identity.
Right now, sir, in your opinion, if this were to this goes through and this were to happen, what kind of impact would this have to voting? Like, would we see? We already see, in my opinion, not that much of a turnout on some of these elections. Would we see even less?
Yeah, so it would actually have a big impact on new registrations in the state of Washington, as we've discussed so far. And the critical component of this is that the proof of citizenship would have to be provided in person. And unlike other states that may have precinct polling places or anything like that in the state of Washington, where we're all vote by mail and have centralized resources, all voters would have to descend upon the same voting location or voting center to provide that proof of citizenship, which we just don't simply have the infrastructure to support. And so that would mean long lines, delays, and potentially that judgment call of those applicants to decide if they want to invest hours of their time to be able to simply register to vote in the state of Washington.
We're joined here by Stuart Holmes, Director of Elections for the Washington State Secretary of State, here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Right now, sir, there is if you will, a lot of folks, a growing number of people who really don't trust elections, fair or not. From where you sit, what's the biggest misconception about how elections actually work here in the state of Washington?
Yeah, as Congress continues to debate on the Senate floor the Save America Act, one of the biggest misconceptions they say, and potentially from others, is the proof of ID that is required in order for your registration to be accepted and your ballot to be counted. In the state of Washington, the way we go about that is when you register to vote, we verify your Social Security number or your driver's license number or both with the Department of Licensing and the Social Security Administration. And your ballot will not be counted until that ID has been verified. We also do ID verification in the form of signature verification when your ballot is returned to the county auditor's office. And so that double verification at the time of registration, we now know you are who you say you are, and that signature that was provided on that application matches your return ballot, is the double form of verification that provides that security that no ballots are returned by someone other than the voter themselves.
Now, Stuart, no matter what we say on this program or, anyone who says there really isn't that much election fraud, it's hard for some people to believe that. Do you have any evidence that would justify this level of change?
Well, I can tell you prosecutions in voter fraud and illegal non-citizens voting is extremely rare. But that doesn't mean that state laws and federal laws shouldn't be in place to prevent and detect that fraud from happening in the state of Washington. And that's exactly why we have signature verification, we have ID verification at the time of registration, and we have a very extenuous list maintenance process to remove in compliance with federal law, deceased voters, voters that are ineligible due to total confinement in federal or state prison. So we have a very extensive and routine list maintenance process where we cross-check against other states as well, like the state of Oregon, to ensure that voters that are newly registered somewhere else are removed from the voter roll.
Now, one of the things that hasn't been reported on much is that with the SAVE Act, this could add additional burdens also for women and others who have changed their legal names because of marriage. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So on the proof of citizenship requirement, as I mentioned earlier, if they don't have a state-issued enhanced ID, which is real ID compliant for those that are tracking on the federal legislation side, then they would actually have to bring in their state-issued ID, a birth certificate, and a document that demonstrates that name change, which may be several documents, quite frankly, in order to provide that proof of citizenship. And many of those documents I just described are not free. They're not freely issued and would require a certified copy or a notarized copy. And if you were born in another state, that means you got to either go to that state to get a document or work with a vendor to obtain a copy.
You listen to the voice of Stuart Holmes, Director of Elections for the state of Washington, here on the Gee Ursula Show. I know this might be tough for you, but maybe this was for me, if you will. If I'm looking into the future, and I thought at one point in time that more states would go to the mail-by-vote deal. If you were to look into the future, what do you see is the biggest change that will be possibly coming to us in how we vote?
So are you asking if more states adopted vote by mail like the state of Washington?
Do you believe that it will be more or less that will be like the state of Washington with vote by mail?
Vote by mail is extremely popular. We've seen it adopted in other states, in the state of Utah, the state of California, other states, in states on the East Coast as well, which is used to be a West Coast phenomenon. Now we're seeing it in more states across the country. And so I'd say more states are going to continue to adopt vote by mail, but we are unfortunately seeing where the United States Supreme Court is hearing on Monday a case in which they will be determining if ballots that are received after Election Day can be counted in federal elections. And in the state of Washington, the way that currently is enforced is if the United States Postal Service accepts that and postmarks that ballot return envelope on or before Election Day, it can be counted because the voter has sent in their ballot. But that Supreme Court will be deciding if that postmark is valid or if it needs to be received by the election official on or before Election Day.
Stuart, to me, it sounds like this is a solution in search of a problem. And I just want to go back to, in the state of Washington, has there been any evidence in recent or even in past years of widespread voter fraud?
No, absolutely. There's no evidence or significant cases of voter fraud in the state of Washington. It is very rare.
Stuart Holmes, Director of Elections for the Secretary of State's Office. We appreciate you joining us here on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show, Scenarios, Gee Ursula.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
Jackson Hewitt will do your taxes for $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So if you're a delivery driver, /handyman, /wedding DJ, you pay only $149 or less. We're talking to you, waitress.
Check, please.
/pet sitter. /influencer. Just $149 or less. Want your refund to work as hard as you? Hurry. Don't wait. File with Jackson Hewitt today. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How can you grow your business from idea to industry leader? With smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need. Go to AmazonBusiness.com for support.
March is an exciting time to be in the garden, especially if you'd love to be growing your own delicious fruit or berries. Hi, I'm Gabby, veggie, herb, and strawberry buyer here at Sky Nursery. This month only, we have a wide variety of Northwest-grown bare root strawberry bundles. A great way to save a lot of money on planting your own berry patch. We also have tons of blueberries, raspberries, and kiwi, as well as persimmon, fig, plum trees, and more. Come on into Sky, because there's nothing like the taste of your very first fruit that you grew yourself. Visit skynursery.com.
Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford braces. And trying to fix their teeth themselves can make things worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Where you buy your vehicle matters. At Subaru of Puyallup, it's about safety for every drive, confidence in every season, and a buying experience that is stress-free. It starts with friendly experts who listen and continues with stress-free pricing, an easy process, and a genuine care that lasts the life of your Subaru. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event through March 31st, enjoy extra savings. Subaru of Puyallup, part of the Harnish Auto family. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership.
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
182 over 100. And I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest. And then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life.
A lot of people don't understand, including myself, I didn't, now I do, the impact of having a stroke.
My memory is shot.
When I woke up, I couldn't speak.
Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
It's a new life, but I'm going to make it better. I'm coming back. Ask your doctor, check your blood pressure.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
I just want to know if you have those songs ready. Text us, because at 11:06, that's what we're doing. Give us a song for you. What do you do to escape the madness of today? What's the music that you're currently listening to? And then also, when you think of Seattle, or when you hear this artist or song, what makes you think of Seattle? Text that in, 888-973-5476. We'll be doing that at 11:06, but right now, scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Empty nester here. Our youngest just left for college, and now it's just me and my spouse in the house. Didn't mean to rhyme that. And I'm realizing something that I don't even know how to say out loud. We don't really talk anymore. Not like that. You see, for 18 years, we've handled business, of course. The kids, the schedules, the bills. We were a great team doing that. But now the house is quiet. And I'm still here thinking, do I even like you? Or were we just raising kids together? And just that thought right there, it feels just wrong thinking it. So I'm asking you, am I wrong for feeling this way? Or is this what nobody talks about after the kids leave? 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Ursula, you up to bat first.
What you are describing is something that so many couples go through. So many. And it is one of the reasons why they call them gray divorces or empty nester divorces, because so much focus has gone into the kids that you forget your partner and you don't continue dating your partner. Remember when we had Pepper Schwartz on?
Yeah. We got to get her
famed
back.
sociologist.
We gotta
Yes.
get Pepper
Yeah, from UW. And she was saying that you have to continue dating your partner. And sometimes when you are raising kids, especially when they're really young, that is the last thing. You are exhausted and you know, you're working, or even if you're not working outside of the home, you're just exhausted. And everything is circled around the kids. And then, you know, you've got them overscheduled, so you're taking them here, there, everywhere, splitting the responsibilities if you have multiple kids, and you don't really have time for each other. So, one, if you can avoid that, if you are early enough in your relationship and in your child, raising years, try to avoid that and try to make sure that you make time for each other, which is sometimes easier said than done. But if you are in now the kid is off to college, and Mark and I went through that, and it's like, we got to get to know each other again. Yeah. And you have to decide whether it's worth fighting for your relationship, and hopefully it is, and try to rekindle it, because now it's back to, you know, the two of you.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's going to take work.
Work. All right. What do you got there, Jacob?
I don't feel particularly qualified to weigh in on this one. I certainly haven't been in a decades-long relationship and then gotten to the end of it and felt any particular way. But I will say that I do have... here's what I'll say. I think that the messages that we give people about relationships are fairly narrow, and it's unfortunate that we don't prepare them for realities that are, as Ursula notes, pretty common for a lot of people. We pretend like we're not going to change over the course of a relationship, or that there's only going to be one right person for people. And for most people, that's just not quite true. And so I think this person's experiencing something normal, and I think I'm kind of bummed for them that they think that it's something that makes them feel isolated, or that they have to like question whether that's an appropriate thought. I think that's too bad.
Well said.
Thank you.
Actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, no.
Pretty good advice there, Jacob. I'm just going to keep it simple. Y'all got to like each other. That's the start. Once that happens, then you can kind of go from there and kind of figure some things out. And also, they just got to start to know the person both ways. You got to get to know her. She got to get to know you. Yeah. What it is that you like. Like, I just think that what ends up happening is we're talking about every day. We're not talking about, like, a fancy first dates. Like, you're going to be with this person every day for the rest of your life. And what does that mean? Well, hopefully you got some peace. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you like chaos in the house or not, or
but
like
there's
it quiet.
There is a real empty feeling when your whole identity and your whole life has involved your children, and then they're gone. I mean, I hear it especially from moms all the time. It's, I've lost my sense of purpose. I don't know what to do with myself now because my identity, my passion was me being a mom.
Yeah.
And I totally get that. If you are in a position right now to try to make a change, here's my little advice is from being on the other side of it, which is your kids are going to be okay if your life does not revolve around them all the time, 24/7.
True.
First of all. So try to make that time with your partner right now. And then when you go out together, try not to make your conversation all about your kids.
True.
Try to find something new about your partner.
Yes. Yes. All good stuff there, Ursula.
Mm-hmm.
Nick!
Well, I feel like this happens a lot when the kids are out of the equation and the love has been missing or even lost between the two spouses. And it can be for a number of reasons. Nonstop running around with the kids, letting time run its course, and forgetting how the couple even got together in the first place. So if you want to let bygones be bygones and maybe part ways after the nest is empty, you go for it. Do what you want to do. But if there's going to be a rekindling of a relationship or newfound love, you can't be pulling all from one side or the other. You got to be giving equal effort on both sides with full dedication for a good effort. Sometimes it's best to move on, though, because if you try to force the issue, those negative, fiery feelings, they could get pretty explosive at the end. So it's got to be natural.
Good stuff there, Nick. I'm going to throw in a sweeping statement, Ursula. Here we go. Here's a sweeping statement. I might not know a lot, but here's what I can tell you that you should never do. If you do make a decision and you're thinking about, man, this empty nest, I don't know if I want to be in this relationship anymore, that's fine. But never, never decide to leave that relationship for someone else. If that is part of your decision to get out of the relationship, that is a problem. You might want to be out of the relationship, but if you want to get out of the relationship because you think that someone is because of someone else and the grass is greener. The grass is greener, don't do it.
Yeah, it's not like applying for a job. This is a relationship.
Do it. Now, if you want to go and be solo, cool. But to leave for someone else, that's fool's gold. Don't do it. One of those things, you don't believe fat meat is greasy. Well, it's greasy, I'm telling you. Coming up next, your song choices, send them in. Gee Ursula.
So I don't need a bodyguard. I won't fess, wear bulletproof vests. Don't smoke Buddha, can't stand sex, yes.
The Gee and Ursula Show.
There's two types of people. One's that use a washcloth. The other are bare hand bandits.
Hate to break it to you, but
Ursula, you a bare hand bandit?
Weekdays 9 to noon. Watch live on YouTube.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Your local volunteer fire department routinely answers the call, whether it be a fire, traffic accident, or a cat stuck in a tree. But because of declines in memberships, departments have become understaffed. Your local volunteer fire department desperately needs you. Can you direct traffic, install a smoke alarm, help at a fundraiser? No matter what skills you have, you can make a difference. You don't have to fight fire to be a volunteer. Will you answer the call? For more information on how you can help, visit the Volunteer Firefighter Alliance at supportvfa.org.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO Newsradio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump has lashed out at NATO allies over their lack of support for the U.S.-Israel war with Iran, calling them cowards. This as the U.S. military is deploying 3 more warships and roughly 2,500 more Marines to the Middle East. CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
Once again, he says what he said, and once again, there's no indication that NATO more broadly is interested in joining this operation. Individual countries may be in talks with the United States. The British certainly have signaled that they're considering things, but as an alliance, the signal that's come from many members is this isn't necessarily a NATO concern.
Just in, thousands of people in towns north of Honolulu have been told to evacuate their homes as flooding intensifies. Action star Chuck Norris has died. CBS's Michael Wallace.
Carlos Ray Norris served in the Air Force during the Korean War and became a world champion martial artist before starring in action movies like Delta Force.
School's out.
And the television series Walker, Texas Ranger.
'Cause the eyes of the Ranger are upon you.
Norris's toughness spawned a collection of jokes.
I hear that when you do a push-up, you're not really pushing yourself up. You're pushing the earth down. Correct.
His family will only say he died suddenly after being hospitalized recently. Chuck Norris was 86. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
CBS's Shauna Mizell is at Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport as long lines persist while TSA workers continue to go unpaid.
The screening process here at Houston's International Airport is a pretty chaotic one, and it has been all week. Just days ago, we saw lines going outside of the door. But today, there are multiple screening checkpoints that are actually closed, which is making a lot of passengers come here to Terminal E.
Former FBI Director James Comey has been subpoenaed in a wide-ranging conspiracy case against ex-officials who investigated and prosecuted President Trump. CBS's Jake Rosen.
He's been subpoenaed out of Florida, where there is an investigation that is looking to potentially stitch together everything that has happened in the intelligence community that President Trump has taken issue with. Think about Jack Smith and the indictments against him more recently. Think about John Brennan, Andrew McCabe, and a number of others who have all been subpoenaed in this case.
A Georgia woman is charged with murder after taking abortion pills late in her pregnancy. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
The 31-year-old went to the ER with severe pain she experienced after allegedly taking the pills at home. According to medical records, the newborn was delivered at about 22 to 24 weeks. It showed cardiac activity but later died. Police charged her with felony murder, alleging the pregnancy was well beyond 6 weeks.
Stocks are down on Wall Street and oil is up. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here? How is this possible? Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60.
A deadly update to a police investigation in Everett. We'll give you all the details in just a moment. But first, KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. And we're looking pretty good. We do have a little bit of an issue on the SR 18 westbound on-ramp from Auburn Way. There is an incident partially blocking the ramp, causing some issues getting there. But otherwise, that's the only blocking incident I see around the region. Tiny bit of slowing, I-5 northbound, just north of the Fife curve. I think that's just weather and volume. We've got a little bit of slowing, Renton to Bellevue on 405 on the S curves, but it's only going to cost you like 1 or 2 minutes. I-5 northbound, Federal Way to Seattle is 30 minutes. Linwood to Seattle is 36 minutes. The lake bridges are clear, and once you get past Linwood, it's smooth sailing all the way to Everett. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. One person is dead after a confrontation with police in Everett. Police say an officer on patrol heard gunshots around 2:30 a.m. They found a man firing that gun into the air.
The individual advanced towards officers. Multiple tasers were deployed, and when the individual continued to approach, officers with Everett Police and the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office discharged their firearms.
That man died at a hospital. Mandy Kruger with Arlington Police says a regional task force will investigate the death. A deadly turn to an assault investigation from back in January. A man believed to be in a mental health crisis stabbed several roommates at a clean and sober house in Tacoma. One of those victims has now died. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reported from the scene when news broke.
One of the people living here says he was woken up by a housemate who was covered in blood, saying the house was on fire. That's starting a terrifying morning.
The suspect is in custody. Gas prices are rising again, climbing about 25 cents in just the last week. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey spoke with drivers at the pump.
Drivers like Matt are just angry.
It's a little bit pricey.
The average price per gallon across the country is $3.91. In Washington, $5.21. It's one reason Craig bought a hybrid.
It sucked, so if you can, move over to electric.
While Jose bought 2 gallons in Seattle, then headed to Linwood.
And I'm going to put gas in Linwood because it's cheaper up there.
But by far, most people I talked with seem to feel like Jim.
I don't know the answer.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Statewide average in Washington has now topped $5 a gallon, with drivers in King County paying around $5.46. Huge rocks and trees poured across I-5 near Bellingham, blocking northbound lanes. Engineers are looking at that slide, but don't have an ETA for reopening. And Amazon may be taking another shot at making a smartphone. Reuters reports the company is working on a new phone project internally called the Transformer. The idea is it will sync with Alexa and uses AI to make shopping, streaming, and ordering food easier than ever. You may remember they tried this before, the Fire Phone that launched in 2014 and flopped so badly it was scrapped in just over a year. Now let's get your forecast. Cloudy, a little bit of rain left over today, 56 degrees, a few showers with sun breaks tomorrow afternoon. It's 54 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you and happy Fresh Fridays. Ursula, you do know it is March Madness, right?
I
happening. Just so you know, your dog, I have not watched 5 seconds of it. I have not seen a highlight. What is wrong with me? I just don't.
You've become such a news hound, for one thing. There's so. I mentioned that it feels like we're drinking from a fire hose when it comes to news. That right now it's like you have to take a break to watch March Madness, and maybe we should be doing that.
But it kind of makes me sad. Like, do you remember when you, maybe for guys and gals, when you stopped playing with G.I. Joe or you stopped playing with Barbie dolls?
We have
you know
to
what
stop.
I mean?
What?
You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Hey, there's Spike O'Neill. He's joining us for this next segment.
I'm with you on March Madness.
Yes.
I haven't given it a minute. And I
Not
used
a
to be
minute.
religious about my March Madness. I didn't fill out a bracket this year.
But what does that mean, though? Ursula, do you think that means that we are...
You're in a different phase of life, different chapter. Maybe you'll go back to it, but right now, it's not your priority.
See, that's what scares me. I don't think I'll ever go back to it.
Well, I'll be honest. I used to watch a lot of tennis.
Yeah.
And I have not watched it in probably 2 decades. And I used to know, and I couldn't even tell you who's at the top of the sport anymore.
Time's a luxury.
It
takes time to be a true fan of college basketball. You got to invest time. You got to know the game. You got to watch a lot of games.
Even Friday nights, though, Ursula. There used to be a time that Friday nights there was always going to be where we're meeting at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
But you're going to have a big birthday coming up. That's what's happening. That's what's happening.
50, your dog turning 50.
I know. Hey,
Baby.
We're doing something different here in the 11 o'clock hour. I'm not even going to do an open. Spike O'Neill is in here because it's a Friday. This has been just hellish when it comes to news. I come back from vacation. I'm like, are you serious? I need another vacation. So I was asking producer Jacob and you if it would be okay if we did something very different. And we invited Spike to join us because Spike is very passionate about music. And my question to all of you was, what is the one song or artist that you think of when you think this is quintessential Seattle music?
That's good.
So I want to, and what do you, what song do you identify with when you think of Seattle artists?
Well, you can't say Seattle like when I think of Seattle. When I think of this song and it comes on, in 1999 when I first moved here, I played it every day in my used Jaguar XJ6 that I had that was really broken down. It was terrible.
That was my first car. I had no idea. We had that in common.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I had a Jaguar.
Mine was also
it
broken
was old.
down.
It was old.
Yeah.
I get it. I get a hoopty Jag. I've seen them.
You couldn't tell me that then, but I was really proud of my Jaguar.
Okay.
I only got to drive mine to school twice and then it broke down. So it wasn't long.
Oh yeah.
I had a POS Mercedes when I was younger. A POS.
Well, I had a white Datsun B210 with a blue door.
I'm sorry. Now we're just naming cars.
Since we're talking about stuff, then since we're on this, and it's paramount, I'll tell you guys this. My Jaguar XJ6 in 1999, the first time it broke down was right here across the street.
Oh, no.
Was right here across the street.
Ooh, look at the chills.
And you mean to tell me years later this is where I'd work?
That is crazy. Fate.
Right here across the street.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So anyway,
so this is a song that's not a local artist, but it's what you...
Rough Riders anthem.
Okay.
Every day. Every day.
Okay. You're now broken down, Jaguar.
Jaguar, broken down.
I can just picture you with the one arm on the steering wheel.
Oh, yes. All right, that's my song.
Okay, for me, I go back to about the time I moved to Seattle.
Okay.
So this was in 1988. And I'm an 80s gal anyway. And so this is the song that is still, when I hear it, I just like...
That's a good song.
By the way, they're first and only number one.
Heart.
That's
the only number one?
Only
what about
number
Barracuda?
Not Barracuda, not Crazy on You, not you name it.
So many great hits.
And that's not Annie. That's Nancy singing lead on that song.
Yes,
Annie's
it is
singing
Nancy.
background. It's Nancy. They're only number one. Kid Can Come From Anwell's maybe the greatest female voice in rock and roll.
True
right?
that. Let's listen a little bit here to this one. I mean, that's just...
No, it is.
Again,
it is. It's on my list. When you ask me my quintessential what does Northwest music mean to you? I moved here in 89, just after you did. And I couldn't have been more East Coast if you tried. Springsteen, Bada Boom, but I was Southside Johnny. I was East Coast. If it wasn't that, it was like Elvis Costello or the Police. It was very much not West Coast music. And I got here and I got just immersed in grunge. I moved here in 89 and grunge exploded.
That's right.
So it was all, I forget who the Melvins were. I had to figure out who Mudhoney was, and then I got to go see Soundgarden in a club and Alice in Chains at the Central in Pioneer Square.
Did you ever get into any of those? Because I didn't.
Well, in military, in school, my friends, they were listening to all of that, the Soundgarden,
grunge took
and
over
all
the
that.
world.
So they were on the. But I'm jealous that I wasn't here during that time because I can only imagine the energy centered around that.
It was the center of the musical universe. I equated it to San Francisco in the late 60s. To England in the early 60s.
That's good stuff.
When the Beatles and the Stones and the Yardbirds and these bands
Detroit in the 70s?
Detroit in the 70s.
Yeah.
When you're the center of the universe, that was Seattle.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, what makes me think, because it's not just what makes me think of Seattle, which I think both you guys referenced, what makes me think of Seattle.
Yeah.
I was on the East Coast, but I knew what Seattle was because of the Dreamboat Annie album from Ann and Nancy and the Boys in Heart, But for me, it was, you got the Hendrix cut. Jimi Hendrix, Seattle icon. This song. It's not your Purple Haze. It's not your All on the Watchtower.
That's good.
Right off Electric Ladyland.
Oh, that's good, right?
A young man growing up in this song's called "Rainy Day, Dream Away." Let it go if you can.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix about being a part of Seattle. This is what Seattle did to his music. What did to Jimi Hendrix? I think.
Dang.
Man, look, I don't even partake, but that's the only thing folks will want to do in that time.
Rainy day, dream away.
What? Okay, I forgot. I forgot I'm at work.
We're on the air.
My bad. I'm just saying, if you did.
In Native culture, it's religious, right?
Jacob, you pulled something that you like.
Yeah, I think this is it's an interesting generational thing that we're kind of going through. And I will say one thing, and there's a lot of listeners that wrote in the Nirvanas and some of that grunge era. I think, Ursula, you hit the more of the 80s, and I'm coming up. I'm in high school in 2008 to 2011. So this is for me, and again, I recognize there's some people that will roll their eyes at this, but for me it was Death Cab for Cutie. I'll just play their biggest hit. Bellingham, Washington band. They met at Western Washington University, and to me that's the next era of Seattle music is this indie rock type stuff, and so that's what I think of. That's what it is for me.
Yeah. Nick is another one who's passionate about music. What is it for you, Nick?
If we're talking locally, I got so much songs right.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
doing a lot right now.
We had Nick pull like every listener suggestions.
Pull one that you agree with one of our listeners.
One of the listeners, if we're talking local, there was a lot of them. Let's go with, this is one of the older ones that talks about the area we live in.
The bluest skies you've ever seen are in Seattle.
Little Perry Como there for you.
Man. Yeah.
And then there was another one I picked out that was one of my personal favorites because it's a little more jazzy and it's kind of old school. You all remember Kenny G?
Oh, yeah.
Reminds me when I was a kid at the grocery store, going through the dairy aisle with my mom.
Dude.
This is the kind of music you'd hear all the time there, and I loved it. It was just like ear candy.
Visual.
Man.
But why do people give him such a bad time? Because he was so good.
Brilliant artist.
Yes, absolutely.
A local treasure.
Maybe it's because he just didn't make pop music. It was just straight jazz, and he wasn't singing. It was a saxophone, but it always sounded great.
I know one thing. Everybody that's texting in any Alice in Chains. Yeah. And I just got to tell you, here comes a humble brag, but I got to be around and hang out with and interview Jerry Cantrell. And I got pictures with Jerry Cantrell, and I was like, is this a big deal, y'all?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So Alice in Chains, man, they're pretty good. Now, are we going to go to current songs?
Yes, current songs. What are you listening to? What chills you out when you're stressed?
All right. Now, Ursula, this is how I know. I just told you, said something about March Madness, that I'm not watching that anymore.
Yes.
Is it a thing that as you get older, your genre of music that you enjoy starts to shift a little bit? Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's songs that I used to listen to back in the day that it comes on, I'm like, I used to listen to that?
Yep.
Turn that off.
Welcome to aging.
But right now, and I need to figure out, we're going to go see her in concert. She's selling out everywhere.
Oh.
And that's Olivia Dean, baby.
Tell me you got something to give. I want.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of like it when you call me wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, now. Now I recognize.
Yeah, that Olivia Dean got my woo. Every day I listen to Olivia Dean. That's my shower song downstairs.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to download.
That's my shower song.
That's a different meaning for me, buddy. Sorry.
Matter of fact, the big boss lady was coming through, and she was like, "Where is that coming from?" And then I come out the bathroom, and she said, "Was that you?"
Oh, that's your shower song in this building.
In this building.
Oh, my
That's my
goodness.
shower song.
Okay. Well, I am going to play an 80s tune sung by someone today.
Okay.
And I would argue that this artist is one of the best female singers in the country right now. This is Kelly Clarkson covering Phil Collins' Take Me Home.
There's no point in escaping.
That's a great song.
I don't worry anymore.
Was a global phenomenon hit when he did it. And you're right about Kelly Clarkson. That may be one of the most pure, talented, true voices of this generation, easily. And from a reality TV, she was the first winner.
She was.
Right, for American Idol. She
Yeah.
was the first.
But anytime she does a cover, I'll tell you what.
Karaoke?
I'm almost like,
yeah.
I might like this cover even better than the original.
When that happens, my dad used to make me feel bad about that. Liking when someone does the cover better than the original. Like, to this day, I can admit it now, but if he were still alive today, I would not admit that I like Chris Brown's rendition of This Christmas better than Donny Hathaway's rendition of This Christmas.
Well, I think Christmas songs you have to give a pass to because there's only a set number of Christmas songs, and everyone has done their version of this, that, or the other. Yeah. But I get it. That
sometimes it's better.
No, I'm with you. Sometimes it's better. What's the best cover of all time? Quick sidebar. Best cover of all time. You think that's it for you this Christmas?
No, what's
well, right now, top of mind, that's it. Okay. What do you got?
Jimi Hendrix, All on the Watchtower, which is originally a Dylan song, which Jimi Hendrix, maybe Jimi Hendrix's largest, biggest, most recognizable hit ever. But Jimmy's All on the Watchtower is a Dylan song. Yeah.
Okay, so what is your song, though? What are you listening to when you need to de-stress?
Oh, so that's, okay, it's not current. See, my mentality is that you set your musical tastes in your teens. The music that you fall in love with in your teens, that set who you are as a person, because music is an escape. Music's an expansion of your life. Music's a vehicle for you to try new things and new places and people in your life. So when I need to de-stress, could you grab that? Play this just from the intro if you can. It's this is a Genesis song called Carpet Crawlers. It's trippy prog rock. This is Peter Gabriel before he left Genesis. Phil Collins, Genesis drummer. It's trippy, weird music. You're talking about imbibing, because I stopped doing that in the early '90s. And I don't
this
need.
is not confession time.
I don't need it anymore. Now I can get the same place with music.
Okay.
This immediately pulls everything back to center for me. You know, the news headlines
calming.
of the day.
It is calming.
It's magic.
Jacob?
Yes. Okay. Well, we'll let Spikes fade into the background. Ursula's
already
done
on Broadway.
Ursula spoiled the punchline for this, but yes, she posed the question: "What's making you feel relaxed? De-stressing?" And this is what I thought of.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass
lemon pound cake, baby.
They found no kidnapping victims, just some lemon pound cake.
It's kind of relaxing, actually.
Can you name what he's parodying? Do you know the song he's parodying?
Oh, I don't. No.
Down by the sea.
Yeah, there you go.
On a blanket with my baby. Under the boardwalk. This was this is what I sang to the babies when they were both my kids when they were babies. Was our bedtime.
All his melodies sound like nursery rhymes to me. Like dun, 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 dun,
okay.
dun.
All right. Here, Spike, this is for you, man.
Sure.
Right now, there used to be an argument that we'd have when I was younger with my dad, uncles, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, what decade produced the best music?
Oh, it's subjective, of course. Everybody's gonna.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Best overall decade for music.
I'm gonna start. I'll go first.
Please.
I don't think any decade could beat the 90s.
I was going to say, if I had to pick one wasteland of no good music, would be the 90s. And I'm not being mean. Because again, it's all personal choice.
The look on your face right now, Gee.
Here's the thing.
It's priceless.
It's a wasteland.
I don't listen to that music, the 90s music anymore. I'm more 70s, 80s myself.
Yeah.
However, but you think about the 90s.
Sure.
You think about grunge.
Yeah.
You think about R&B.
Yeah.
You think about the height of Garth Brooks and country.
You
think
alive.
And let's not even talk about rap music,
Right.
hip hop. You know what I mean? Like the 90s was just
well defended.
Boom. Yeah. I don't even listen to 90s music, but I have to give respect to that decade.
That's true.
I probably would say
That's
the
true.
60s, if I really had to say it, because you had everything from crooners to the Fifth Dimension. Motown was coming alive in the late 60s. Little Stevie Wonder was in the 60s.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about the Beatles and the Stones and Jacksons and the Jackson family.
There was so much competition in hip hop in the 90s that Jay-Z's first album that he made, Reasonable Doubt, was
meh.
Nobody. It was that.
That's crazy.
Until Biggie, Tupac, that happened. Or then he kind of went close to 99 and 2000. Then his second one. Then they go back. But anyways,
now you're right. That's as deep. It was rich.
Rock music, right? In the night.
Yeah, grunge. You're right. Now the center of the world. I called Seattle the center of the musical universe, and then dissed the 90s. I got some explaining to do. You know.
I also have some explaining to do, and we're out of time. But this artist,
I climbed across the
I should bring her up when we're talking about. Are you kidding me, Brandy Carlisle?
She cold.
Yeah,
she cold. She's cold. Yeah.
You know what? For Northwest music, treasure. Well done. Well played.
But you know what? I gotta say, I'm shocked to be in the room with y'all delegation and y'all didn't bring up Pat Benatar.
She just got elected into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She's not local.
No, it's not local. I'm just saying, though.
You're right. No,
but
it's
she's
fair.
so good. All right.
There you go. And then Nick takes us out with my
Spike's a special guest right now. I know Bruce is your favorite
blood
guy.
type. My blood type is BS. That's so many levels.
My buddy Nick Anderson in high school, he was like, "Gee, you should love country music." I'm like, "Huh? No, I don't like country music." He says, "All it is R&B really slow."
True.
When he said that to me, I was hooked.
Nice.
I was hooked. Thanks, Spike.
My pleasure,
Thank
guys.
you.
I needed this. You're right. We needed this.
Yes,
Agree to
for
disagree
sure.
comes up next. This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
When it comes to buying a car, who you buy it from matters a lot. And that is why we always choose Carter Subaru. And right now they're having their Subaru A Lot to Love event. And if you are wondering why I say, well, we are repeat customers, it's because what keeps us loyal is not just their great cars. It's the people who work there. You're not going to face any pressure. You're not going to get the runaround. You're going to be dealing with a wonderful team that treats their customers with respect every single time. I also love the fact that they are so committed to our community. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership. They also have the largest selection in our state with over 700 Subarus in stock. Right now, you can get the 2026 Subaru Solterra, now available with 0% APR for 72 months on approved credit. Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard, or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 3/31/26.
There's nothing like the taste of the very first fruit you grew yourself. Well, March is the time to visit Sky Nursery for a wide variety of Northwest grown strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and kiwi, persimmon, fig, plum trees, and more. Visit skynursery.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Think about this. In 2006, $20,000 equaled roughly 33 ounces of gold at the spot price. At today's prices, those 33 ounces would be worth over $150,000. Smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals. That's why I buy gold from Birch Gold Group. It's a crucial part of my balanced strategy. Gives me peace of mind given all the events that could impact the U.S. economy. See if holding gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account is right for you too. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Just text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, let Birch Gold help you diversify with gold. Now that's peace of mind. Text Dan to 989898. Again, text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 today. Message and data rates apply.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. No!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Jillian Raftery. Thousands more Marines are being deployed to the Middle East. U.S. President Donald Trump speaking today.
We can't let these lunatics have nuclear weapons because they were going to use them. They'd use them fast.
CBS News correspondent Charlie Daggett in Tel Aviv says a U.S. stealth fighter jet has been damaged over Iran.
U.S. military officials I spoke with say that F-35 fighter jet was on a combat mission over Iran when it was forced to make an emergency landing in an undisclosed U.S. airbase in the Middle East, and that the pilot is in, quote, stable condition.
All sides continue to trade fire in the Iran war. Rain in the lowlands has not translated to snow in the mountains over the last few days. That's because of the atmospheric river, and Mount Baker ski area has shut down all week as a result. Their staff, though, says they'll reopen tomorrow.
Till then, hunker down at home, enjoy your surfing, read a book. We miss you.
Crystal Mountain will be open today, but operations will be limited. So will Snoqualmie. And all that rain is causing some moderate flooding on local rivers. The Tolt, Snoqualmie, and Snohomish rivers are receding now, but there are still some flooded roads. Remember not to drive through those closures. It's go time for Husky women's basketball. They take on the South Dakota State Jackrabbits this morning. Tip-off is right now. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin.
Last year, they were eliminated pretty early on. That was in the first 4. We spoke with players who say earning a spot in the tournament is a dream in itself.
Trying to embrace this moment,
I'm just really proud of our team and how far we've came,
And 3 players are also celebrating some pretty high postseason honors. Savia Sellers notched a spot on the All-Big Ten first team. Avery Howe was named All-Big Ten honorable mention, and Bryn McGoy earned a spot on the Big Ten All-Freshman team.
Gonzaga women play Ole Miss this afternoon. Now let's get a check on your drive. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. And we still got a little bit of slowing in and out of downtown Seattle. Federal Way to Seattle is about 29 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 33 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 23 minutes. There's just a little snag on the S-curves, but then you're pretty much smooth sailing right on up. Bothell to Bellevue is 15 minutes, even with a little bit of slowing coming out of Canyon Park. This report brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Visit Subaru of Puyallup for friendly experts, transparent pricing, genuine care, and savings during the Subaru A Lot to Love event through March 31st. SubaruofPuyallup.com. We are having some light rain tapering off to a few cloud breaks this afternoon. Sprinkles early and sunshine later on Saturday. It's 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is 11:33 on this Fresh Friday, and we usually do agree to disagree at this time, but we had some breaking news at the top of our show, and we have been trying to get our next guest on, and we just found out that former Seattle Morning News host Dave Ross can join us now. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning. What's up?
Well, thank you so much. Right when the news happened, I thought of you immediately after I was feeling like I had a gut punch, and I was thinking, who could we talk to help put all of this into perspective? So, of course, I'm talking about the news this morning that CBS News Radio, which has been around for nearly a century, announced today that is going to shut down its operations on May 22nd. And so I wanted to get your reaction.
Yeah, I got the news from your producer. I hadn't heard about it before. Well, obviously, I'm not shocked by anything anymore, Ursula, so I guess I can't say it was a gut punch for me. I did.
Well, you're retired now.
That's right. I know. I mean, I freelanced for them for 27 years and filled in for Charles Osgood, my own commentary for them, and we did remotes down at the broadcast center. And so I guess it does have a special place in my career, definitely, and it certainly is a legendary network from Edward R. Murrow on down. But I also know, having worked for radio, that it was a shoestring operation for a while. It was bought out by a company called Westwood One. I could always tell when CBS was part of a business deal because the return address on my paychecks would keep changing. The paychecks would come, but they would come from strange companies I'd never heard of, even though, officially it was on the CBS network. So I don't pretend to understand all the corporate decisions that go into this, but 524 West 57th Street, where the studios were, was the old Seal Test Dairy, and that's where the radio network was located, just downstairs from the TV network. And I thought it was the coolest thing for this, super glitzy network to be located in an old brick dairy. That brick wall you see on CBS mornings. That's not a set. That's the actual back wall of the old dairy. And so it represents a long broadcast tradition for me. And like a lot of things, I'm sorry to see it go.
Well, first of all, Dave Ross, I miss you, bro.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He doesn't miss us. Can you hear in his voice? I'm sorry.
Hey, I miss you. You're on the air all the time. I'm hearing you constantly in my ear.
Dave, man, usually I say I miss you, and then you say I miss you too. You just said, yeah. That's all right.
I'm just telling you the reality. You guys are everywhere. I hear you promos. You're on my car radio. There's this amazing thing where you don't even need a computer to pick up your show. You can just have this little unit. You turn it on, and there's your voices. There's no buffering, no nothing.
Dave, you said that these days you shouldn't be shocked. You're not shocked by anything anymore. Explain that. Explain that.
Well, the fact that we're in a second war in the Middle East, the fact that America seems to be losing its edge in the world, even though we're told we're going to be gaining its edge in the world, The fact that I paid $5.49 for a gallon of regular here on Mercer Island just yesterday, that's, I suppose, should be shocking. I remember the days when my dad would stop for gas and the price was 33 cents a gallon.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, I'm not shocked by anything.
Well, but you've also seen, because Dave, you're the only one who I can say has been in this business and in this building longer than I have been. And you've seen how our industry has changed and how people use news differently.
Yeah, no, and that's, look, change is inevitable. I'm going through my old, tape files and listening to some of the stuff that we did then. And it was great for 20 years ago, but you wouldn't put that stuff on the air now. I mean, radio card tricks, what kind of a, what was that? I was cheating the whole time. So tastes change, the audience changes, and those of us who, I always wanted to be on the front lines. I didn't care what it was that was going on. I wanted to be at the center of the action, the center of the news, covering things. And at the time, radio was a great place to get yourself, dispatched anywhere in the world and witness things firsthand. That's the way I feel I can tell what's true from what's fiction, because when you're there at the event and you see what you saw with your own eyes, and then you go back and watch what other people saw through the media, you finally get a perspective on how the world works. So this job was great for that then. Now, the phone I hold in my hand could broadcast to 2 million people. You don't need a big organization to do that anymore. I know there are some stations that wonder whether it's worth even having a transmitter these days, which is also a shock to me. But that's the world we live in, guys.
Dave Ross, before you go, brother, I know for as many years as you and Ursula have been in this space, there has always been talk about change in radio and it could be going away and all that stuff. When did you realize that, okay, there really is going to be a change to this industry? When was that moment? And tell us about that.
1992, when I got my internet website, daveross.com.
Oh.
And on the first time I went on vacation, I put up a little page there. And then, I went back to New York and was vacation. And I wonder, will I be able to actually type that in and see it here in New York? And I typed it in and I saw it there in New York. I said, wow, I'm my own network now. What I post in Seattle can be seen anywhere. And if you can do it with, type, you can do it with any kind of data. And audio is just data. And so, that was obviously the game changer. Pretty soon, our newsroom. Were you there when we got the first computers, Ursula?
No, I was there. I started in '88. I mean, we had very basic stuff, but I remember when we were getting trained on the internet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first when I first got, we were using carbon paper, right? We had 5-ply carbon paper. There was no computers. We were just pounding on mechanical typewriters. And to spread a story around the newsroom so that, the host and the anchor could have it, you put it on 5-ply carbon paper. When the first computers came in and we were suddenly messaging each other and we got rid of the wire machines, which used to, the network news or the AP news would be printed out on big rolls of paper. When they started popping up on the screen, I said, wow, the time we have between when we get the story and the time to sort of read and understand it just vanished. Just the time we get to consider things just went to zero. Mm-hmm. And we thought we had a real leg up because we were the first to computerize, but we soon realized, wait a second, within a few weeks, maybe a year at most, everybody's going to be this way. And we're going to have to rush on the air with everything even before we may know what it means. And the other big breakthrough, I think, was actually Monica Lewinsky. I don't know if you recall, but the mainstream media were very reluctant to publish that story. But a guy called Matt Drudge said, hey, I'm not controlled by an editor. I'm going to post that story. And he did. And suddenly the legacy media said, wait a second, he's getting all the hits and nobody's reading us. Mm-hmm. Well, now we got to publish everything we see, whether we think it's in good taste or not. Mm. Personally, I think the story was worth publishing. I wouldn't have repressed it. But what I'm saying is suddenly deadlines from being maybe a weekly deadline or a daily deadline suddenly became an instantaneous deadline. Something happens, it gets posted.
Well, now with everyone listening to podcasts, I mean, as I said this morning, it's a sad day, but it's not that I'm shocked that we're here and that CBS Radio is shutting down. So it's unfortunate. But Dave, it's always great to hear your voice.
And it's great to hear your voice. And luckily, I get to hear it.
Retirement seems to be suiting you, though.
I'm doing okay. I'm signed up in beginning pickleball. That shows you how far I've come.
That's awesome. Good job. Well, I'm gonna hit you up and we'll do pickleball when the weather changes.
All right, watch out.
Hey, Dave. Question for you: Are you right now? Are you wearing a collared shirt?
Am I wearing a collared shirt? Actually, I am. Why would you ask?
I thought you were retired, Dave.
Well, this is for $5 at Goodwill. How could I resist it?
Thanks, Dave. Talk to you soon, buddy.
See you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Text message feedback and in Ursula's words live by.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
At Madrona Financial and CPAs, we believe financial decisions should be made with clarity, not sales pressure. That's why we host weekly educational seminars and live webinars on retirement planning, tax strategies, and rental property decisions, designed to help you think more strategically about your future. Whether you prefer attending in person or joining from home, there's always something coming up. To see our upcoming schedule, visit MadronaFinancial.com. Madrona Financial and CPAs. Informed planning starts here. Madrona Financial Services is an SEC registered investment advisor.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
See country star Aaron Lewis and the State Liners at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, March 24th at 8 p.m. And now an added show on March 25th. He's a multi-platinum artist whose raw lyrics and powerhouse vocals have captivated fans for decades. Now he and his band, the State Liners, are coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Get your tickets now to see Aaron Lewis at muckleshootcasino.com.
The throw to first, and it's in time. Holy smokes, what a play by J.P. Crawford.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But if you're looking for a truly golden view, look no further than the seats on the first baseline, a.k.a. Trident Town. Post up behind the Mariners dugout, and you get a great view of Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, and our entire rotation at work.
Swing and a miss. Fastball upstairs, blew it by him, strike three.
Not to mention the best view of the best home run celebration in baseball. When the Trident goes up, you know a party's going down.
It is gone! Julio!
Mariners baseball. Trident South.
The Mariners' first homestand is stacked. Don't miss opening day on March 26th. Cal Raleigh's 60 home run bobblehead night on March 28th. Presented by Alaska Airlines. And a star-powered showdown against Aaron Judge and the Yankees. March 30th through April 1st. Get your tickets today at mariners.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
It's the Gee Ursula Show. Happy Fresh Fridays to all of you. Oh, it was so good to catch up with Dave Ross.
Love him.
And here's the thing about Dave. And Dave, if you're still listening, I'm going to say it for you. As much as Dave was delighted to talk just now, he don't miss us. My man Dave is enjoying retirement,
Well, he's a radio hound. Like he said, he's probably listening to us right now, like you were saying.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
And I believe him because he does
believe him,
listen
too.
still to the station every day.
He was such a professional when
Always.
he was here. He was
But have you ever seen him cut loose? Because I have.
Have you?
Uh-huh.
At your birthday party, I remember that.
Thank you. Yes.
He was dancing on the floor.
ABBA songs, forget it. You can't get Dave off the dance floor.
He was loving it.
I hope the youngsters look at me the same way. No, not happening. Not happening. The way I look at Dave Ross. All right, Ursula, what we got?
Okay, well, we brought the news to you, and we mentioned it with Dave again, that CBS Radio is going to go away in the end of May. They're just disbanding operations, figuring it's not a moneymaker for them anymore. Shelley in Seattle said, please assure us that KIRO Radio fans that CBS will not be shutting you down as well. No, we were a network affiliate, so there are plans to figure out how to fill that space that was held by CBS, but you can bet that whatever we do, it will be even an improvement from that. But it does not affect us other than, this tradition that we've had for over 80 years.
It could affect you. That means you might have to listen to G's voice a little longer than segments.
Still the news, though. It's still news radio.
A lot of texts on this, a few more of them. Rick and Monroe, this is especially sad about CBS Radio News because the current administration wants to control the flow of information, control it in a way they deem acceptable. To be clear, this wasn't a Trump administration move in any explicit way. But anyway, thank you, Rick, for the note.
Yes. And Catherine in the 360 says, we are lucky to have KIRO and our local content. It's so rare to get real-time local news and updates. And I really like how KIRO chooses hosts that are not cookie cutter. And you and the show will go next level with how you form community with your listenership. I think that will help with your longevity. You guys are wonderful, and I know I'm not the only one who is thankful that you were on the air. P.S. All the awful Seattle area traffic, I think, helps KIRO also. Sully is golden. I can't imagine getting content for the drive from anyone better. True that.
Yes.
Very, very true.
I might skip down to our Afro Man text. Tracy in Tacoma, watching y'all laugh at Officer Pound Cake reminds me of trying to listen to and mediate disputes between my 6th grade students. It was often so ridiculous it took every ounce of self-control not to laugh out loud.
Wait, can you, while I read this next one, can you go back to that soundbite of the question about the unfortunate harassment, apparently? Okay, but Josh in Auburn says, Afro Man is the hero we didn't know we needed.
Sean, you were called Officer Pound Cake by Mr. Foreman?
Multiple times. You received hundreds of pound cakes at work from different people.
Okay, if
Paging
all of this,
Officer Pound Cake.
if all of this is like, say what? What are you guys talking about? We did the story at, was it 9:30 this morning?
Yeah.
Okay, so listen to our podcast.
This is why it is so important to, look, you could do a lot of things great, and then Officer Pound Cake. He probably had a successful career in law enforcement.
Yes.
He's probably been an upstanding citizen, but because of this and the harassment of a citizen, he will forever be known as Officer Pound Cake.
I'd love to have people send me pound cakes every day.
If y'all want to send pound cakes to us here, we'd be okay.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Not hundreds.
If you had family and you had some sons and you're out in public and they were like, hey, there's Officer Pound Cake. Come on, dog.
Made a name for himself.
Come on.
That's right.
And then a bunch of you were texting in about Chuck Norris. 206 said, giraffes were created when Chuck Norris uppercut a horse.
I love these.
Say what?
I think my favorite one is Lomax and Sammamish. Chuck Norris and Superman had an arm wrestling contest. The loser had to wear his underwear on top of his pants.
And then there was Aubrey from Gig Harbor who says Chuck Norris died 10 years ago. He actually just died, but it took the Grim Reaper this long to work up the nerve to tell him. I mean,
the Chuck Norris.
His legacy will live on forever.
Yeah. All right, Ursula, it's time for your words to live by. What you got?
Well, I want to embrace the whole idea of change because we need to embrace change. And this is a quote from Ralph Marston who says, never assume that you are stuck with the way things are. Life changes every single moment, and so can you.
Ooh, that's true. David 253 just said, it's not Officer Lemon Pound Cake.
Only on weekends.
Nick! Jeez.
Well, thank you all for giving favorite songs to listen to if it's representing this backyard or feelings sent to you. And thankfully, the weekend showed up with our spring in sight while we keep on music longer with that bit of extra daylight. And if it's Afro Man you like to turn up for a break, maybe keep it from your family or parents for their own sake. I'd take a wild guess and say that's not up Dave Ross's alley. I don't think he knows about Officer Pound Cake. It ain't no ABBA for him over there.
All right. Happy
Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass spray.
Oh, wow. I just wanted to say it's officially spring.
Yes.
So you can listen to all the Officer Pound Cake that you want to.
Or you can use some of our recommendations from our 11 o'clock segment.
Sure. We didn't get to... someone texted us and said that they know that they're late to the party, but they wanted the music that soothed their soul, originally sang by the Eagles, redone by Howard Heward. The song is I Can't Tell You Why.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Timothy Schmidt on the vocals there.
So sorry we didn't get to you. All right, Ursula, have a good weekend.
You too.
All right. Jacob, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Hey, put in a good word with the big bosses. Tell them that we're actually working.
Will do.
All right. Nick, thank you, man.
You too, man.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Hey, the Jake and Spike Show. They're coming in next. Make sure you stick around. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
There's no beating CM Heating.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. TurboTax helps you get your biggest refund, and then Credit Karma helps you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your